All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. It is From the Pocket. I hope that intro went okay. Still, still new to this, but it
Still working
is
on it.
Jake from the Pocket. Over there is my co-host, my homie, Christian,
I don't
and
know this man.
oh yeah, we've never met.
Never met in entire lives.
But Christian, we are celebrating today. It is a celebration episode today.
It really
Um,
is. It's been a long time coming.
We are back. Football
Tomorrow.
is back.
That's
Tomorrow.
crazy.
We are
It's
recording this
wild.
on Wednesday night. Tomorrow, the NFL season kicks off with the Chiefs and the Ravens on banner
What
night.
a
We even
what a game.
we even get some football on Friday. The Packers
We're
and
getting
the
on
Eagles play in
Peacock.
Brazil.
I'll complain about that later.
I'll be on Peacock. I don't care. Like
I'm
I'll
a-
complain about it
it's-
while I subscribe to Peacock.
I mean, yeah, that's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. But hey, how you doing, Jake?
It's been a pretty crazy past couple weeks for me.
Yeah, you
I
went out of town.
Yeah, last time we recorded, I had COVID. Was on the
Yeah.
tail end of it, so feeling a little better, but still
You know,
tough.
I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Yeah, and then I went to DC. I was in DC, Washington DC, all of last week, just hanging out with my dad and brother, and
Nice. Was
saw
that
some.
fun?
Oh, it was awesome. I had a great time. I saw some just insane stuff. I knew some of
Ooh.
it was coming, but
Like what?
well, I mean, I'm a big George Washington fan, so went to Mount Vernon. He's buried at Mount Vernon, so got to see his kind of coffin, him and Martha Washington's coffin.
Mhm.
Got to see the documents, the original Declaration of Independence, the original Constitution, the original Bill of Rights. That was amazing. Um, but there were just some things like they had Neil Armstrong's spacesuit from when he landed on the moon for the first time on display. They had a Gutenberg
Allegedly.
Bible, allegedly. They had the Gutenberg Bible. They had an original copy of the Magna Carta. They had one display
The
where
Jay Z album?
yeah, the Jays. They had that just on display. Him and Kanye West pictures right there.
No, I think that you're thinking Watch the Throne. Magna Carta
Oh
is around that time. I
man,
think.
I'm dumb. Yeah, you're right. I am confusing them with Watch the Throne. But either way, they had an exhibit where they had the stuff that was in Lincoln's pockets when he was assassinated.
What? We have that? Just,
Yeah, I mean it was in his pockets.
I mean that's history right there. Yeah,
They had the gun that killed him on display.
that's crazy.
I went to the Eternal Flame at Arlington Cemetery.
You're
Saw the
displaying
JFK.
my ops.
Basically, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, and it's like big and bold, and it's like the gun that killed Abraham Lincoln. It's pretty insane. And I mean, they had some other like cultural stuff. They had Dorothy's shoes from The Wizard of Oz. Um,
Oh,
they had the original C-3PO and R2-D2 costumes from Star Wars. If you're into that,
okay.
they had Captain Falcon. They had Captain America's shield from Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it was
Uh,
the exhibit was American pop culture. So yeah, no, a lot of just awesome stuff that I really really enjoyed seeing. Some surprises for sure. Definitely would recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. And I mean, even if you're not like a big history government kind of buff person, there's I feel like
Still,
there's something for everybody there. Um,
yeah.
Restaurant scene, garbage.
Really?
Total
In Washington
garbage.
D.C. That's
Bad.
crazy.
Bad.
Nation's capital.
I mean, it's bad. Is bad. Like I'm sure they got some fine dining. It's like it's like what are the
Right.
top restaurants in DC? And it's like, oh, this restaurant Obama took Angela Merkel to, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to that.
That
I
one.
can't go to that restaurant. Like, what do you think? I'm not. I don't have money like that. Come on. So it is kind of stupid, but that was my only complaint really. So anyway, now that DC is out of the way, we are back, starting the week off, and Christian, I am just so excited. We got a loaded docket today though, so we probably shouldn't dilly dally any longer. We got
I don't get to talk about me, Jake.
oh dude, you know what? You're right. I am an asshole.
Man.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I don't
What
get
have you been
to
up
talk
to
about
since we last
me.
talked?
Not much. It's been.
Whatever.
I was about to go into it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, nothing much. Watched some good college football. Not all of it. I missed quite a bit, but the Notre Dame and A&M game was pretty cool. College football is back, obviously. Um, I got to see FSU lose again to Boston College. Rough state there. Um, yeah, and I'm excited about the season coming up tomorrow. Can't wait for that. Oh, celebrated my friend Crystal's birthday this past Saturday. Funny enough, I did get a little sick. I've been sick these little past few days. I think like it's the lake. I swallowed some water at one
Oh,
point. Yeah, I'm not a strong swimmer, barely at all. Some would even say. Um, so yeah, I'm feeling better now, but yeah. So yeah, I am electrified. I'm gonna go hang out with our buddy Nick
hey,
on the
yeah.
podcast tomorrow to go to over at his house and watch the Ravens Chiefs game tomorrow, and then Friday I'll be watching on the road. I gotta go home, so I'll find some way to watch the Packers Eagles game
Oh yeah,
on my
for
way
sure.
home.
For sure. Yeah, I will be too. I'll find a way to do it. But as I was saying, we got a loaded docket today.
We do.
We gotta give our final predictions for everything. So we'll go through kind of each. Not super in depth on any team. We'll just kind of breeze through each division and kind of give our final like how we think it'll shake out. I wanted to give some award predictions. And then playoff predictions, Super Bowl predictions, and then of course after that it's business as
Yeah,
usual.
yeah.
It's getting into the bets. I don't know if you're doing a tier list because you just did one a couple weeks ago, but
It's about the same, but I'll maybe make some adjustments here and there, maybe. But we will see.
and then we're picking week one, and
Pick one.
it's back. So I'm
Yeah.
ready to get started, Christian. So we'll go ahead and tee this off. I'm ready to get into final predictions really quick. So really quick, I guess we can just take it again division by division. As I said, we'll go NFC North to start. Um, yeah, Christian, how do you have the NFC North shaking out?
Um, right now, as the NFC North, I have the Lions in first place, 11-6. Packers 10-7. Bears 6-11, and Vikings 4-13 at this moment in time. Lions only NFC North
Oh, you have the Packers
participant.
missing the playoffs.
Only slightly.
Dang.
They're in a tie with. Let me see. So they're in a tie with the Commanders, Cowboy. Well, the Cowboys are in, and Seattle.
All
Those are
right.
like their biggest competition.
All right.
But
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
I don't
pretty.
know. I that could be adjusted. I don't know, dude. It's a little weird. I do have three teams from the NFC West making the playoffs. I don't know
I
how
I do
that's.
too. I do too. We'll talk about that in a second, but I'm pretty lockstep with you on the North. I have the Lions at 12-5. I have the Packers at 11-6. Bears at 8-9, and I have the Vikings at 4-13, just like you. But I actually have the Lions and the Packers making the playoffs. I have the
Yeah,
Lions as the number one seed.
the Lions number one seed. Oh, Jake,
That's how it shook out.
that's I don't know about that one there, but
That's how it shook out.
it might be. It might be. I could see it. I
Yeah.
don't hate that.
But Packers are the fifth seed, so they're that first wild card spot. So I'm pretty bullish on the Packers. I gave them another win since we talked about them last time. So yeah, so that's how that shakes out. And NFC West, it sounds like we might have some similar thoughts. I also have three teams in the playoffs
I
there.
think we're gonna disagree on it. Or
Yeah, go ahead.
so 49ers,
Hmm.
we're back. We are back.
Are they your number one seed?
They are my number one seed.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's not. I
Hey,
disagree
they
with it,
got. I
but
mean, they brought back everyone. Brandon Ayuk came back. He finally accepted his deal. That's been his deal since August 12th.
yeah.
No, yeah, August 12th. They didn't budge on that, so they got that done. Um, then they brought back Trent Williams, which was very big for them. I think that was way more important than the Brandon Ayuk thing. Um, I don't know, dude. It's like the thing we said about last year for the Cowboys. It's like if the Niners don't do it this year, when are they gonna do it? Because
Bars.
it's Brock Purdy's coming down like next year
He's gonna
probably.
get 50 mil at
He's gonna
least.
get at least 50 million. We'll see if he's a guy that will maybe accept like a team discount.
I don't think
But
he will.
I mean, yeah, I mean the market is trending up toward that 60 and all that stuff. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger. So that's gonna be interesting. Debo's probably gone after this year, since they just
Yeah,
signed
Debo
Ayuk.
is gone, and they
So
have Ricky Pearsall, who
yeah,
obviously is going through some crazy stuff. But
yeah.
they did draft him in the first round, so it seems
So
like
they
they do
yeah
expect him to
they got
take a
him.
pretty big role.
They got him. Christian McCaffrey still. He's back in practice. He has been injured, I think, with a calf injury
Yeah.
through training camp. He's back, so we'll see how that goes. They got Ufanga, I think, on the defense. It's like Greenlaw, I think, is like a bunch of their defensive players are up for contracts or are making big money. So it's going to be a lot of changes for the Niners. And I mean, they've been mortgaging their future for these past few years. They've been making NFC championships and knocking on the door for the Super Bowl. So like, if it's not their year, when is it going to be their year? Then I have the Rams going 12-5. I am
Wow.
feeling
Then
the Rams.
second place, 12-5.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
crazy. I maybe want to take a few wins away from the Rams, maybe like one or two. Maybe a win, probably a win from the 49ers. And then 10-7 for Seattle. I think
Hmm.
they have a bounce back year. They make the playoffs with the 6th seed. They were almost in it last year. They just had some unfortunate breaks. Losing that Cowboys game late that Thursday night.
Ooh, great game.
That was a good game. I was at that game.
Oh,
Um,
you were at that game.
yeah. Um,
Sitting
yeah,
in my
and
living
then
room, falling on the floor.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty back and forth. And then I had the Cardinals 8-9. I didn't
Mm.
know what to do with the Cardinals. I could maybe get them to 9-8. Really hoping Marvin Harrison Jr. that him and Kyler that connection works out. But I do like their head coach Shane Gannon,
Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon. I do like
You're
him.
thinking of Shane Steichen, who was
Shane
the other
Steichen.
Eagles guy
Yeah,
that
that
went.
went to the Colts.
Yeah.
He's on the Colts. Okay, yeah, this is the other one. So yeah, but I mean, I think the Cardinals could be feisty. I just don't know if they have it right now. You know.
I feel that.
So
I
yeah, 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, and then Cardinals.
I have the
Uh,
Rams winning the division. Go
I
ahead.
knew
Sorry.
you would. Oh, I was gonna say 49ers with the 1 seed, Rams 5th seed, and the Seattle 6th seed.
Okay. Yeah, I have three teams as well. I have the Rams winning this division at 11-6.
Not bad,
Um,
yeah.
I have the Niners at 10-7 in second place.
That's fair.
And my seventh seed is actually the Cardinals at 9-8.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah,
All right.
I've become a little more
I,
bullish on the Cardinals the longer
I
I
don't
sat
know.
with them.
I hope the Cardinals prove me wrong because like I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do with them. Kyler Murray is coming back now, healthier, so that should like give them a boost and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I liked what the Cardinals have done. I think they've built their offensive line over the past couple years. Marvin Harrison Jr.
They
is going
need
to be a
that.
great addition for them. I do
They
like
need.
Kyler Murray. Jonathan
I
Gannon
just
to me
let me
proved a
stay
lot last
healthy.
year. Yeah, and that's obviously the biggest question is if you can get a full season out of Kyler. But I do like them at 9-8. And then I have the Seahawks at 8-9. So we're kind of flip floppy right there, kind of within a game of each other. So it really does feel like that seventh seed or those bottom seeds can really go either way.
It's gonna be
Um,
tough.
my thoughts really quick. I want to talk about the 49ers really quick because, I feel like on the surface it's like 10-7 second place as a wild card. It's like feeling kind of down on the Niners. I got to say this. I think the Niners have a massive uphill battle this year.
They've
Like
had a lot of distractions.
they've had a ton of distractions. They've been injured to hell already. They're the defending NFC champs, Super Bowl losers, which never bodes well as a hangover. And their roster's obviously great, but it's also a year older. How are injuries going to fare this year? Christian McCaffrey's already banged up. Debo Samuel, you're probably going to miss a couple games. George Kittle's probably going to miss a couple games. So
Ayuk even.
even Brandon, so
Trent
there's
Williams could maybe miss a game.
Trent Williams 36 years old, and Trent
Yeah,
Williams is gone. That
but he
offensive
just
line
got the
is
bag.
not
He
the
just got the
same.
bag.
He did. But and the other thing is this stat's really scaring me is the 49ers. They have the least amount of rest advantage in the league this year. So when you take, you have a team that plays, Sunday to Sunday, and they're playing a team that was on a bye week. That team on a bye week has a 7-day rest advantage, right? The 49ers have the most disadvantage. They play several teams coming off a bye week, coming off a short week. I mean, back to back, even back to back, they play the Chiefs off a bye week, and they have a mini bye week, so that helps them. But still, the Chiefs have the rest advantage there. And then the next week, they play the Cowboys coming off a bye week, and then they play 2 weeks later the Seahawks coming off a bye week. They play the Bills coming off a bye week. They play the Bears coming off a mini bye week. Like, they have so many games where they just do not have as many days off as their opponents. So, like, to me, 10-7's like, oh, you're down on them. But to be honest, if this was any other team, I'd have them missing the playoffs. Like, I would say you're going to win 8 games. So, like, I feel like putting them at 10 wins and putting them in the playoffs shows how much I respect the Niners. Because I do feel like if there's any team that can overcome the Super Bowl hangover, it's the team that repeatedly goes to the NFC Championship. And so, I don't want to sound like I'm down on the Niners. I have a lot of respect for the Niners and the team they've built, and I think 10-7 shows that I have that respect for them. I just think it's a massive uphill battle for them this year.
I could maybe give them one more win, but I mean, no, I think, yeah, I have no doubt that you respect the hell out of this organization. Like,
I sure don't got them losing to the Cowboys this year.
They've been they've been going to the NFC Championship, NFC Championship, and the Super Bowl like
repeatedly,
like through these past half decade. Like, yeah. It's been insane. But I am a little worried about them going forward this season. I don't think 12 and 4 is gonna get me 12 and 5, excuse me. Yeah. Doesn't mean like it's gonna be like they're gonna win all these games. I definitely see them having like losing one of these games that are probably like it's so. But I'll give them the slight edge.
No, and they've earned.
I'm not sure about the Rams. I like the Rams, but Matthew Stafford. They lost Aaron Donald. Very curious on what this.
And their defensive coordinator, like. Raheem Morris.
And Raheem Morris. So, still like the Rams, but I like the 49ers. I just can't quit them, especially since they got everybody back.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, the Rams have some question marks on the O-line. Matt Stafford, we love him, but only when he's is he going to stay healthy? Kyron Williams is a baller. I love Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp on the outsides. But, yeah, this defense is a bit of a question mark for the Rams. They got a lot of young, kind of no-name guys. Lost Aaron Donald, Raheem Morris, and a lot of that defensive staff left with him when he went to the Falcons. So, yeah, I understand the skepticism for the Rams. There's a lot of hype that, with also a lot of questions. But I guess really quick to move on, we could talk about the NFC East. I'll let you go first on the NFC East. Christian, who you got?
You're gonna hate to say it.
I'm not gonna hate it, man. Don't worry about me. You gotta pick what you think's gonna happen.
So I got the Eagles going 11-6.
Okay.
On top of their division. Cowboys 10-7. Being the 7th seed is a little crazy. Okay. Yeah, like I picked it and I was just like, really? Is this how we're gonna go? So might adjust that a little bit, but yeah. Then the Commanders 9-8. I'm buying Jaden Daniels stock. I don't know why. I think it's because he's just so dynamic. But I mean, I think he does also have that problem with like the Kyler situation. He is kind of small. He's a little tall. He's taller and he's thinner. Yeah. So I'm going to be curious to see how that goes. But he looks very dynamic from what I've seen in the preseason, stuff like that. So here's hoping. I like what they have offensively. I think they're formidable. They got some guys you have to pay respect to, but defensively, I'm not sure. Dan Quinn, right?
Yeah, that's their new coach. He betrayed Dallas now.
So I'm hoping maybe they can fix he can fix that side of the ball. I know they've been struggling the last few seasons defensively, so maybe he can get that fixed. I can maybe shorten them down a little bit. And right now I got the Giants at 2-15. I don't like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like this. At one point I had the Panthers 0-17. I was like, that's not gonna happen. I can probably give the Giants a few more wins here and there. I'll have to see, but yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, okay. Here we go. Here we go. This is my most off the wall set of predictions right here with the NFC East. I have the Cowboys winning the division at
repeat
10-7. Now, look,
hey,
it's not
that hasn't been done since what 2005,
2005, I think, or four, but one of those. But it's not a compliment to the Cowboys. It is just a lack of faith. I think they're just going to win it by default because I don't have faith in really any, including the Cowboys. I don't have any faith. The Cowboys might not win this division, but I think whoever does win this division is promptly getting eliminated round one. Like, whoever it is, but I just happen to think it'll be the Cowboys that have the honor of getting bounced in the wild card. So I have them at 10-7. I also have the Commanders at 9-8.
That was 2004.
Okay, yeah, it was Eagles 304, but
and then Giants 105.
That's right. And then Cowboys
Eagles
lost. Yeah, Eagles 106. Cowboys 107, and then Eagles 108.
Giants 108.
The Giants, they went 12-4 that year. That's right. That was when they were defending champions. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. I also have the Commanders going 9-8.
I did not think you were buying stock like that. Okay.
I'm pretty high on the Commanders. I think there's a chance they could even win this division. The last game of the season is between them and the Cowboys, and I have both of them going into the game at 9-7. But I have the Cowboys pulling it out. It's in Dallas. I just trust the Cowboys in that spot. But the Cowboys have massively disappointed everybody constantly in those kinds of games. So Commanders 10-7. Who knows? This is where people might turn me off. I have the Eagles going 8-9 this year.
Oh,
yeah.
I understand why you say that.
I am. Look, they might win 9 games. They might get to 10 games. Like, I'm not saying it's not possible that and they might again, like, they might win the division like at a 9-8, 10-7 record. Like, I'm not saying that's not gonna happen, but I am so down on them for so many reasons. They lost Jason Kelsey, which I think is a huge loss. Yeah. I know. They have a great offensive line. It's like, I followed the Cowboys when they had Tyron Smith, All-Pro in his prime, Zach Martin, All-Pro in his prime, Lyle Collins, first-round talent, Pro Bowler, and they had Travis Frederick. They were the best offensive line in football. Travis Frederick retires early. They become a bubble top 10 offensive line after that. Like, the impact a center has in terms of setting up protections.
Well, he calls out the protection.
Yeah, I mean, it's massive.
Push was like
he's the tush push too. Like, I think he is.
Push.
So I'm not saying their offensive line's gonna be bad, but like, they're not gonna be an elite offensive line anymore. They're not. Fletcher Cox and Hassan Reddick gone on the other side of the ball, so I think both their offensive line and defensive lines will still be good.
They still have their guys.
Yeah, I mean, they got Jordan Phillips, they got Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith should have a bigger role. So I mean, they got guys, but it's obviously not as deep as it was, not as talented as it was.
That secondary, there's still question marks on that secondary.
I think their secondary will be better.
Yeah,
it is young. It's full of rookies, and we know Vic Fangio's defenses tend to take a few weeks to gel, so that concerns me. And then offensively, I think they've lost their fucking minds offensively. I think what they're doing is insane. They are totally gutting their identity to be a pass heavy offense, which I don't think their personnel allows them to do. I don't think. Maybe Jalen Hurts proves me wrong, and Jalen Hurts comes in and
we saw
can pass the ball all over the field.
Kellen Moore went to the Chargers, and Justin Herbert had his worst year statistically.
I cannot. Everybody seems to like Kellen Moore, except people making actual football decisions. Like, that's the thing I can't get past. It's like 2019, he takes over for Jason Garrett play calling. And Jason Garrett's like, I don't want this guy calling plays. And Jason Garrett gets fired at the end of the year. Mike McCarthy comes in. Mike McCarthy's like, I don't want this guy calling plays. Jerry Jones like, he has to call plays for you. That's the deal. And he's calling
y'all
plays.
were the number one offense for a bit.
And then Kellen Moore leaves, and we're the number one offense again. Like we were, and he goes to the Chargers, and the Chargers thought so highly of him, that they fired their coach and promoted their linebacker coach to be their interim. Like, that's how highly they thought of him. And then they bring in Jim Harbaugh, and Jim Harbaugh promptly goes, I don't want you here. Leave.
You want your own guys.
I mean, he's just he calls plays like he's playing Madden. And I guess it's fitting because this is a team that builds their team like they're playing Madden. I mean, but it is what it is. Like, they brought in Saquon Barkley. You know, this is a run-first offense that is no longer going to be a run-first offense. So I also have no faith in Nick Sirianni. Like, I think people get so blinded by the talent, and they're like, Saquon Barkley, it's like, it's so amazing. He's going to be like Christian McCaffrey, and it's like, I'm sorry. There's nobody on the Eagles staff that is as competent at calling plays and drawing up offense as Kyle Shanahan. Okay, you're forgetting the Kyle Shanahan effect that he's had on Christian McCaffrey. Like, you can bring in all the talent in the world. If you don't got the guys to scheme it up, you don't got the guys that can make the throws. Like, I have no faith in the Eagles. I could be wrong. I hope people clip this and, you know, laugh at me in 3 months when the Eagles are 12-5, running away with the division, and they're as good as everybody thinks they'll be. Like, I'm fine with it, but, like, I'm going out on the ledge. I think the Eagles are not going to be good this year. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. I can live and die by being made fun of for it, but that's what I got. So I got Cowboys, Commanders, Eagles, Giants. Giants at 4-13. I've tried to get them a fifth win. I think they'll go maybe 5-12, but
no, they're looking toward Shadur Sanders and all the other guys, and it depends. I don't unless Daniel Jones can show us something. I think everyone's focused on the draft.
No, I mean, they didn't even want him. Like, they wanted Drake May. They wanted to replace him, and they just missed out on it. But Malik Neighbors should be exciting. This offensive line is still very skeptical. This defensive line...
Andrew Thomas, though.
This defensive line could be really good, though, for the Giants. That could be an elite defensive line.
Who'd they trade for? Did they get somebody?
Brian Burns. They got Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. They got Dexter Lawrence. Like, they have a great defensive line. So that's probably their identity.
How you build. Yeah.
But I just
try not to put the ball in
I just don't think Daniel Jones with no offensive line and Malik Neighbors, I just don't think it'll be enough. So
nah.
Devin Singletary in the backfield, can I say on that? Like, not really. So anyway, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Really quick, we've already talked about this, the NFC South. I've had some drastic changes in the NFC South.
I did too.
Oh, I have the Falcons winning it now.
I have the Bucks winning it.
I had the Bucks winning it. I now have the Bucks finishing 6-11.
6-11. I had the Bucks going 8-9. Falcons 7-10. I early on I was buying this. Look, now I do like what they did with the draft. The trade. Sorry, they traded for Matthew Judon.
The Falcons. Yeah, that was great. That was a great trade.
They brought somebody else in, like a safety or a corner. I can't remember. But they're really trying to bolster that defense because I think that was like the biggest question mark we had.
Especially that front seven.
It is funny. Kyle Pitts seems like he might miss week 1. We will see.
Interesting.
Yeah. I saw a funny tweet about it. It's like drafting Kyle Pitts and for my fantasy. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I still believe in the Falcons. I think Kirk Cousins has won a division here and there a few times.
Yeah,
so he can do it.
He ball.
But he can ball. But he is coming off an Achilles injury. Falcons haven't since the Super Bowl. They really haven't had a winning culture there since. So
it's amazing what a loss in the Super Bowl like that can do to a team, isn't it?
It's been tough. Well, they've just been losing. It's just been crazy. They lost Kyle Shanahan and all that stuff. But yeah, I got the Bucks 8-9, Falcons 7-10, missing the playoffs. Saints 6-11. I love Saints Twitter, dude. If you if you ever want to feel good about yourself, just go look at Saints Twitter. They're all complaining.
They should.
That's
They should.
that's
Their
all they're
team's,
doing.
their team's
They're
bad.
complaining about Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
They're complaining about Derek Carr. They want Spencer Rattler to start. It's hilarious.
They did nothing of note this offseason. I mean,
They really can. They're
they're strapped. They're salary cap hell.
what, pay Alvin Kamara?
How do you have the Panthers finishing?
It took me a minute. I had to adjust the Panthers. At one point, I had them going to 0-17. I was like, they ain't gonna be that bad. I don't think we're getting an 0-17 team like that. People get fired. People gonna lose their jobs. But I got them going 4-13. I'm not a big believer. I am praying Bryce Young is gonna prove me wrong. I want the Panthers. I want the Panthers to be good.
I'm actually a bit bullish on the Panthers. I have the Falcons at 9-8, winning the division. Again, very much like the NFC East, where it's not so much confidence in the Falcons as much as it is like just by default. Yeah. I have the Panthers going 8-9.
8-9.
Yeah,
I'm hoping, dude. I'm hoping they have a good year because I just don't know what I'm going to get from them. I'm hoping Bryce Young, takes that step. But all I can go on is from last year.
I love the hire of Dave Canales. I think they made some good moves in the offseason. Their defense is obviously very suspect. Obviously, they lost
losing
Brian Burns. I still think that in the right circumstances they can win. Maybe 8's a little too bullish, but like I could see them winning 6 or 7 games. Like I feel pretty good that they'll be able to achieve that. The Bucks, I've seen Baker Mayfield one too many times have a great year and then step back. He lost David Canales as his offensive coordinator.
The offensive line still, they got to run the ball. They got to figure out their running situation. They still got to. They got to get a running game going.
They've got some talent though, but I just am really. Last year, I felt like they had some lucky breaks, and I feel like that's really going to come back and bite them. They're not going to get it back-to-back years. I'm very skeptical about the Bucks and the Saints. I think the Saints are actually, according to my ranking right here, they are ranked the worst team in the NFC. I have them at 4-13, and I think they're actually the number 1 pick in the draft for me. So I have the Saints as the worst team in football according to this, which I don't know if they'll be quite that, but I think they'll be among that group. It should be a crime how much I am down on the Saints this year. I mean, it's like borderline illegal.
Hey Jake, quick question about the Bucks since we're talking about them. If Mike Evans, when Mike Evans at the end of this season gets another 1,000 yards, let's say 5 to 14 touchdowns, that make him a Hall of Famer? Because at that point he'll be at like 12. He'll be over 12K. I'm looking at his stats right now. He's 5-time Pro Bowler. He'll have like 12. He's 30. He's only 30, so he has a few more years. But if let's say like he retired after this year, 12K yards, he'll probably have over 6 touchdowns. So that put him over 100. They'll put him
at 100 touchdowns,
100 or over 100, depending. Would you put him as a Hall of Famer? Because that's like he's been an underrated. I mean, 1,000 yards a season since he was a rookie, my guy. That's insane.
I mean, every year.
No less than 5. Oh, he had 3 touchdowns. Did he get hurt that year?
He doesn't have any first-team All-Pros. He's got 2 second-team All-Pros, which is, second-team All-Pros fine. He's got 5 Pro Bowls, which is cool.
He has 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry,
I would probably. I'd like to see him do it for maybe another couple years.
I think he has.
I think some people will be saying he's a Hall of Famer after. I mean, he's got a Super Bowl win.
He does have a Super Bowl win,
and he didn't ball out when Tom Brady was there, but he was still really good, and he was an instrumental part of their team. He had 27 touchdowns through 2020 and 21. So, I don't know if I'd be ready to say he is yet, but I'm sure a lot of people will, and I'm not going to fight it. I mean, Mike Evans has been a baller his entire career. I remember one time Colin Cowherd, this is like years ago. This is like 2016. He was like taking a dig at Dez, and he was like, Dez, he gets all this attention because he plays for the Cowboys, but when you look at his stats, he's not actually that good. It's like if he wasn't playing for the Cowboys, I mean, you look at his stats, he's basically just Mike Evans, and I'm like sitting there like, that's Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a pretty good receiver. Like I'd take being Mike Evans. Like that's a great receiver. So yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Mike Evans. And he's had
I
a
was just
phenomenal
curious.
career.
I've just heard that. I think I saw him like on Twitter or something. I was like, you know what? I like Mike Evans.
I'm a little bit of a stickler for the Hall of Fame, though, so
He's fair.
We'll
don't
see.
want to add Eli, which
I will die on that hill. Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. That dude is not a Hall of Famer. And people, I've seen people like they'll come out and say that, and then everybody in their audience will push back, and they'll be like, I've actually given it some thought, and I think it's like, no, dude, he's not a Hall of Famer. Your instinct was correct because you saw him play. Like look, I've been prepping that spiel for 5 years. So when it comes time, when Eli Manning becomes a first ballot Hall of Famer, I think at the end of this season, I think he's eligible at the end of this season. So.
The only one that's going to be singing that is going to be hollering at the rooftops is the Giants fans.
I mean,
it's the only one because like everybody else is like, no.
I mean, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of like I don't mind the dude. I think most people think he's a Hall of Famer except Hall of Famers. I mean, Deion Sanders has come out and been like,
yeah,
you put Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame. This is a joke. It is a joke. Like it's not. He's not a Hall of Famer. Like I've been prepping that spiel for 5 years, so I'm gonna save it for when we get there. I'm gonna go on a 30-minute rant. I'm ready.
Just hit record. I'll just be there, just laughing. Like all you need to do is just tell me when you want to record. I'll be there.
But I'm ready for it. So we'll get there when we get there. But anyway, yeah. So really quick, we're a little behind, but it's not big.
Yeah.
Like,
sorry.
I got time to kill. It's all good. Sure. Let's talk the AFC really quick.
All right.
Let's go to the North. What do you got for the North?
Oh, the North. Okay. That is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got the Bengals winning 12-5. They do have a tough schedule out the gate. I do like Jamar Chase. He did not get his contract going, but I did see he was in he had his pads and stuff today, so I think he's going to be there for week 1.
Yeah.
Kind of sad they didn't get this deal done. They still do have until Sunday, but their owner, they broke the bank for Joe because they had to, but yeah, still those tendencies are still there. I don't know why they don't want to get this done. You just saw we saw Justin Jefferson get paid over this offseason. CeeDee Lamb just got paid like a week ago. Who else got paid? Tyreek got maybe like an extension or something. Waddle got paid. And all that stuff. So it's
AJ Brown,
apparently
Devontae Smith.
CD,
obviously.
I think I saw maybe like a report. I think it was made by an official Twitter account or whatever, but it says he just wants a penny more than than Justin Jefferson.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe that was a joke.
I like Jamar Chase, but like, come on, dude.
I mean,
even CeeDee Lamb, who had a great season last year, was like, I'll take less than Justin.
Them LSU boy, did Justin Jefferson go to LSU?
Justin Jefferson, where did he go to school?
Is it Ohio State or LSU? Because those have been the two.
He went to LSU, yeah.
Oh yeah, and Jamar, them LSU boys, man, they feel like they cold. I mean, they have been.
They have been. Like, yeah, I mean, that's two phenomenal.
Very, very well. So, but anyway, he needs to get paid. You should have got that done a long time ago, but we're here now. Looks like he's going to show up. They do open up the season against the Patriots week 1, which is it's a great. The Bengals have had an issue with starting the seasons well. I think that's a great starting block for them. Not too hard. They're at home. The Patriots, I think they should whoop them pretty nicely. Week 2, that's rough, man.
Jeez.
Week 2 on the road with the Chiefs off a mini bye because they are playing this Thursday. That's going to be tough. But like after that, I mean, they got their division games, which are going to be tough. They go on the road to Dallas. That's a big game. They struggle against Cleveland.
Got to
And
go against the Chargers on the
the
road.
Chargers, they are coming off 10 days rest because they play the Ravens that Thursday, so they do get a
Mini
10 week
bye, yeah.
mini bye, and then they go into a bye, in week 12. So I got them going 12-5, um, on top of the division, number two
Oh, you got them winning the division.
yeah, winning the division. Yeah,
Nice.
I think the Ravens are going to take a step back, but not much of a step back. They'll be. I have them going 11-6. A lot of defense. They lost a lot of coaches, defensive players. It's going to be a little bit to gel, but I think Jim Harbaugh will do very well. Uh,
John.
yeah,
John
John, damn it,
Harbaugh.
damn it. I
Man.
had it. No, I was saying Jim. So John Harbaugh,
Yeah,
I think
John Harbaugh.
he'll get that figured out. They have that banner above their locker room, play like a Raven. I think they'll play like that. I think they'll be fine.
They're a great organization. Yeah,
Ravens, talk about another team with a rough starting game. Like they play the Chiefs week 1. We'll
on
talk
the
about that in a
internet.
minute. On
Yeah.
better. Then the Browns 9-8. Don't know what I'm going to get from Deshaun Watson, but I do. Kevin Stefanski, he's a great coach. Nick Chubb, I think he'll be. Think he's scheduled to.
He's gonna miss the first month right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, Cleveland. I am sorry. Then never mind. I thought I felt bad putting y'all on 9-8. I maybe need to put y'all 8-9. I don't know.
Damn.
But yeah, Cleveland. I just don't know what I'm getting. I don't know. We'll see if Deshaun Watson can fix himself. And then the Steelers 9-8, finishing it out there. Yeah, just two AFC North teams.
All right. I mean, we're pretty similar actually. I have the Bengals going 13-4. I've we already talked about the AFC North. I'm super bullish on the Bengals this year.
If Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy.
If Joe Burrow stays healthy, the sky is the limit for this team.
Yeah.
I got the Ravens at 11-6 in the second
Nice.
in the second spot. So those are the two teams out of this division I have making the playoffs. Ravens get the 5th seed. I have the Browns at 9-8, and I have the Steelers at 8-9, both missing the playoffs.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin having a losing season.
The back half of their schedule is just insane. I mean, it is crazy. So yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one for the Steelers this year. But so we're pretty similar there. But going to the AFC West, really quick, I have the Chiefs winning the AFC West. I know it's a bold take.
I know. I can't believe you picked them.
It's bold. I know. I'm very bold on the AFC West. No, I mean I have them going 13-4.
They get a little speed. No, you won't pick them.
I have them finishing in the 2nd seed.
Second seed?
Yeah, to the Bengals.
Oh, okay. So do you have them winning that week 2 game?
I have the Bengals winning week 2.
Okay, I mean, because dude, it's crazy in the first 2 or 3 weeks. The AFC could be decided because the Chiefs and Ravens play tomorrow.
Yeah,
and then in week 2 we have the
Chiefs and Bengals. I mean it's the massive playoff. And I mean even in the NFC, the Packers and the Eagles on Friday. If both of those teams are fighting for a wild card spot, I mean, which is very possible. I mean that's going to have so it's it's a little weird having massive playoff implications this early in the year, but it is what it is.
These are the first 2 games you want a good showing, obviously, but yeah, that's whew.
I have the Chargers at 10-7, making the playoffs as the 7th seed.
Jim Harbaugh fixes it in 1 season. All right.
I mean, he doesn't fix it, but I think he'll be very competitive. I saw him do it with the 49ers. So
they were kind of a disaster.
I have the Broncos at 7-10.
Bo Nix.
Yeah, I wanted to get them to 8-9, but it just the dust settled at 7-10, so I have them there. And then I have the Raiders at 5-12. I wanted to give the Raiders more wins. I want to say the Raiders are going to be competitive because I do believe in Antonio Pierce. I think they have a lot of pieces I like. I mean, I love their defensive line. Max Crosby's obviously amazing. Devontae Adams is great. I mean, they're going to run that 12 personnel at a historic pace. I mean, the Myers and Brock Bowers. I mean, it's 2 tight ends all day long.
Man, they're gonna have to run the ball because who was it? Gardner Minshew?
Gardner Minshew is their quarterback, and
He
that's really
almost
why
was
that's
a throwaway from the Colts
yeah.
making the
Eh,
playoffs last
But
year. So.
that's really why I have them at 5-12.
But
I just am not sure about their
you gotta
quarterback
play the Chiefs.
situation.
Yeah, you gotta play the Chiefs twice. You gotta play the Chargers twice. Ours almost line up again. I
Nice.
got the Chiefs. Just a bold take there. I don't just
Yeah,
out of the
that's
blue.
crazy.
I had to
Chiefs,
pick
Chiefs.
somebody to win that one. So 13-4.
I
Um,
had to pick someone. I got him at
I
13
had
and
to pick.
4.
I picked him at 13-4. Somebody had to. Somebody got him with 13.
Somebody wins this division by default, you know.
We are Chargers 10-7.
Hey, we're like identical.
I think he could fix it up. It's gonna be interesting to see. But I do like the Chargers. They could probably give the Chiefs. I do have them splitting with the Chiefs. I think they could maybe give. And their
I do
games are
too.
always. I think their games are always almost
They're
decided
always
within
tight.
3 points. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
so
always tight.
I think Jim Harbaugh maybe can get them to get them over the hump. But yeah, 10-7, making that seventh seed, getting that seventh seed there. Broncos 9-8. I could take some wins away there probably for them, but they are starting Bo Nix, and I think I saw he got elected as captain. So
Bo Nix looks like he could be a stud.
I mean, he got an offensive minded coach, and it's we were kind of waiting on Sean Payton to fix this team last year because he was talking all that shit last season. So it seems like they got their guy, and they seem happy with him. So they're making him the captain. So 8, 9, and 8, maybe like 8 and 9 probably is where they fit in. 7 and 10,
I like
probably.
the 8 and 9. I like them at 9 and 8. Honestly, I like them as like that a surprise kind of better than we expected team.
And then Raiders. I think I have them at 4-13, but yeah, not very good in this division. I mean, you have to play the Chiefs twice. You have to play the Chargers twice, and the Broncos twice, which I think is on par with them. So, um, yeah, with no quarterback, I like Gardner Minshew, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, let's go to. You want to do your division or you want to do the South first?
We can do the South first.
All right, who you got for the South?
Going out on a limb here, I'm gonna take the Texans at 11-6. I know, shocker there. Jaguars just missed the playoffs, 9-8, but they could be in that 10-7 range there. Can Trevor Lawrence have a bounce back year? Um, Doug P, Dougie P. I'm not saying he should be getting fired, but he could be. I don't know, man. We'll see. Colts. I'm a little sad. I don't have the Colts doing better. I have them at 6-11. I can maybe jump them up to like 8-9. But yeah, Colts at 6-11, and then the Titans. I just didn't know what to do with the Titans, and I messed around and gave them four wins. So 4-13 there. I just don't know what to do with the Titans.
I have the Colts winning the division.
Oh, you picked the Colts.
Yeah, I got the Colts winning the division at 11
All
and
right.
6. One of my favorite.
11-6.
It all depends on Anthony Richardson, right? Like
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson comes out and balls out, very possible. If he comes
Who's even
out,
their backup?
don't catch me lying.
Jacoby Brissett's gone. Gardner Minshew's on the Raiders. I don't even know who their backup is.
But I do like the Colts. I mean, dude, they were again. Like I know we've talked about it. I know
Play away from
they were
playoffs.
they were a play away last year from winning this division with Gardner Minshew against. I mean, imagine if they actually pull that off, and imagine how we're talking about the Colts.
True.
And versus how we talk about the Texans right now, where the Texans win that game, win the division, go on to win a playoff game, and I know people loved C.J. Stroud before that happened, but I mean the momentum is that is such a small difference in outcome between how we talk about these two teams. So I love the Colts. I love Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen was my pick for Coach of the Year last year. I mean, and
Who ended up winning it?
Kevin Stefanski. And I didn't mind Kevin Stefanski winning it. I didn't mind people saying D'Amico Ryans deserved it too, because D'Amico Ryans did a great job with the Texans. But Shane Steichen taking a broken Colts team with a backup quarterback to a play away from the playoffs and winning a division that nobody. I mean, dude, we had them winning 4 games going into last year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love what the Colts are doing with Shane Steichen. I think I'm really bullish on the Colts this year. I think they're going to win a playoff game. I think they're going to win the division. Yeah, I do have them winning a playoff game against the second place team in this division, actually, the Jaguars. Jaguars 10-7. They get the 6th seed, and I have the Colts at 9, or the Colts. I have the Texans at 9-8, missing the playoffs.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, bold. I know, it's crazy, and I have the Titans 4-13, doing what everybody thinks the Titans will do. So, yeah, that's probably the big prediction.
That's
I have.
A big shakeup, because I would at least thought it was the Jags or the Texans that. I think most people are picking either the Texans or Jags, but mostly the Texans, obviously.
Texans are the popular pick. A lot of people got them going to the Super Bowl. So, which Texans go to the Super Bowl. I'm a fan. I love it. Big fan of that. Yeah, Eric Mangini picked them and the Lions. Could you? I don't know if there's a better Super Bowl, like as far as just rooting for both teams to do well.
I mean, that'd be a great Super Bowl. I would love that. I wouldn't hate either team making it.
Yeah,
that'd just be crazy.
So, but no, I have them missing the playoffs, so it's a very unpopular pick. And I know it's a crazy pick, and I know I could be dead wrong and look really silly when they win 12 games and run away with this division. But there's something in it. I'm just like, and I live in Houston. Like it's not easy for me to come out here and tell all my Houston friends, yeah, I got your team missing the playoff, homie. Sorry. Yeah. If it's any consolation, I have them beating the Cowboys in Dallas.
I think I have them also beating the Cowboys in Dallas. I'm trying to go to that game.
I am too.
This thing is lying because it's on a Thursday now. It's no longer on a Monday.
It got moved?
I think it got moved.
What?
I was at their preseason game on that Saturday when I watched Trey Lance melt down.
It says it's November 18th. That's a Monday.
I swear to God, that's it.
Yeah, it says Monday.
Is it the Cow?
Yeah, it's a Monday night game.
I don't know. Okay. I'm trying to go to that game. I just want to try to go to that game. Probably get some standing tickets. I think that'll be fun.
But yeah.
We're trying to go to the Texans Dolphins game, which is later in the season.
Yeah, that's in December. I'm excited for that one too. But all right, Christian. Speaking of your Dolphins, yeah, this is it. This is our last division to talk about here. Go ahead, Christian. How do you have your division with your Miami Dolphins shaking out?
Well, as you know, last year I went on a limb there and picked the Dolphins to win the division. They haven't done that since.
You looked like a genius until week 18.
2008. Yeah, well, no, until honestly that Titans loss.
Yeah, that was cool.
That really did hurt us. So yeah, I'm down. I'm down on the Dolphins this year.
That's cold.
What am I,
Christian?
It lined up perfect for us last year, where we were, we started off the season high, but 70 points up against Denver, all that. We were number one offense. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill were like number 1 and number 2 receiving yards. Tua was like leading in yards and maybe at one point passer rating. I don't know. I think Brock Purdy like mostly had that tied up. And then what happened? November, October. I don't remember when we started losing. October, November started happening.
You had a lot of injuries too.
We had a lot of injuries too, but it's been our calling card. So, that being said, I got the Bills winning this division. They have the best quarterback. I know we talked about. I think we mentioned Sean McDermott could be on the hot seat. I think so. I can't remember, but I mean, they had a lot of injuries last year to that defense, and they ended up being not like a top 10, top 5 defense, but they were still pretty solid. They were a solid group. So I believe Shane McDermott can get that group figured out. Shout out to Mark Hamlin. He's their starting safety
Yeah, I
now.
saw that today.
So shout out to him. I hope he does well this season. With all the things that he had to go through.
For sure.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like we had it in our hands, in the division, in our hands. We could have had a home playoff game against this same Bills team, and we shit the bed at week 18 at the end of the season. So yeah, I got the Bills winning this division, 11-6.
It
Prove me wrong, Miami. Prove me wrong,
it gets worse for me
please.
because it wasn't really your team that shit the bed. It was Tua, and
It was
that's
two. I
because
mean,
well, so
also I need now Tua got his deal and all that. Um, Mike McDermott just got extended for another 3 years.
Mike
I need
McDaniel.
him as Mike McDaniel. Sorry,
Yeah,
Mike McDaniel's. I need Mike McDaniel's. I'm not saying he needs to get fired or anything, especially since we just extended him. But I need him to start taking some heat. I feel like he's been getting to skate by because of Tua.
well, now
Now
Tua's there
we
because of him.
yeah, and he vouched for Tua now,
Yeah,
and I need to not. I need to stop seeing this trend happen where we start off hot, and then later in the season, once we start playing these good teams in not perfect weather, not in Miami, but in Buffalo, in Kansas City, in Baltimore, all these. I need us to win some of these. I'm not saying we need to beat every winning team, but we need to beat some of them. So I am curious to see how that's going to look. I think as per usual, I think we'll start off really hot. We got OBJ. It'll be fine. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, the kid from Tennessee, Jalen Warren. I think he's fast too. So
just
uh,
fast.
that's all we do. That's what we have. David Achen. We know how fast he was last
He
year.
is fast.
We
Yeah, I
just
mean,
picked up
that's
Jalen
what you
Warren in
do.
like the third or fourth round from Tennessee. He's fast. We got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They all fast. Uh, I just need us to get a running game later in the season. But with all that being said, I got the Dolphins 10-7, being the sixth seed. They make the playoffs, but they kind of falter there at the end as per usual. The Jets, look, Jets fans out there, I'm being generous, okay? I'm being generous, and I'm saying y'all are going 9-8. You missed the playoffs, but hey, you're in the running, okay? You happy? Cause I don't believe in this team. I'm sorry. I really don't. You open up against the 49ers. Do we need to look at the history of Aaron Rodgers going up against the 49ers? It's not great. Now you got some wins here and there. I'll give you that. I'll say you split with the Dolphins. I'll give you some of that. But yeah, 9-8. I just don't trust. I don't trust that offensive line. Um, I know they brought in Tyron Smith and
Moses Morgan Moses. I
Mo-
can never
Morgan
remember what
Moses.
his name is. It's one
Um,
of those.
Two injury
Yeah, it's Morgan
prone.
Moses.
Uh, Tackles. Brees Hall. I like Brees Hall. But can he stay healthy? And like it's just Garrett Wilson and whoever else
When they
on that.
trade for Devonte Adams, you mean?
Okay, all right, get that deal done. And then yeah, the Patriots 5-12. I am gonna go out on a limb here and probably say Drake May will maybe be starting by week 6. Because that offensive Drake
Um,
May looks like he's a playmaker. They need something like that. They need a spark. I know what I'm getting from Jacoby Brissett, but the offensive line's not great. Defensively, I think they could take a step back. They might not be as defensively sound, which I think they'll still be a good defense. Don't get me wrong. They Gonzalez, the rookie from last season, who was looking pretty good last
yeah,
year.
Christian Gonzalez is
He's
a stud.
Christian Gonzalez. I think I said Jonathan Gonzalez. I think he'll be back. He'll be back and great. But yeah, no offensive line, really no really direction for this page. I mean, there's gonna be a running football team, but um, there's really no threat other than that, and like maybe they can catch you off guard if you're not really paying attention to them that much. But yeah, the Patriots not gonna be very
Yeah,
good.
I feel that. I have the Bills winning this division as well. At 10-7. I look. I I've been hard on the Bills. I'm kind of the anti Nick Wright on the Bills because like where Nick Wright hates
I
the
feel
Bills,
like y'all
he hates the Bills because of Josh Allen. Whereas the only reason I like the Bills is because of
it's
Josh
because
Allen.
Josh Allen.
I
Yeah.
think this organization is very questionable, but I absolutely loved what they did this offseason. I thought they had a phenomenal offseason because
I mean, Stephon Diggs is gonna hurt.
well,
Yeah, you're gonna see.
it's not just it's not that I don't think they got better. That's not what I'm saying. My reason
Okay.
for liking what they did was because when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers or insert elite quarterback here, right, in their prime, there is a pressure to every year try to contend and try to make your team as good as possible because you have to take advantage of that window. And what you see when teams do that is they are constantly chasing this ever dwindling kind of cap of a team they have where they're never as good as they were the year before. And they kind of slowly get worse over time, little by little, never able to achieve that peak that they maybe had at one point. And that's really what the Bills have been. Like the Bills peaked out when in that
Since that
AFC championship, and then the next year in the 13-second game where they lost in the division. That was their peak. And year by year, they've gotten a little worse each time. And I think there's a temptation to, again, say, we just got to stay with it. We just got to keep with it and just keep breaking the bank and keep trying to stay competitive. But what they did is they said no. They're like, we're gonna say, okay, fine. We're gonna take this year off. We're gonna take it back. We're gonna fix our cap. We're gonna get rid of Stephon Diggs, get some draft capital. We're still gonna be competitive. Probably not a Super Bowl contender, but we'll be competitive. And we are going to go into next offseason with a loaded salary cap with some draft capital, and that's when we're going to load up and we're going to reset and go back to our peak, which I absolutely loved. So I think they go 10-7 this year. I don't think it's an amazing season, but I do love.
They're gonna have their ups and downs.
Yes,
Yeah, Josh Allen.
I love James Cook kind of being kind of the focal point of that offense for them. I know people.
We're gonna see a lot. Like I forgot what team you're talking about, but they're gonna do a lot of 12 personnel.
Oh, the Raiders.
Oh
yeah, Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. You're going to see a lot of 12 personnel with them as well.
And they're going to be running the ball. Hopefully, they run the ball a lot.
People are down on their defense. They lost all this talent on defense. They lost that talent last year on defense when they were all
fine.
injured, and their defense was still good. So, like, I think this defense will be still middle of the pack at worst.
Yeah, not insane.
I think this offense will be balanced. It's not going to be, they're not going to be blowing out teams 38-10 like they do, but I think they're going to win a good amount of games, 10-7, 11-6. I think they win this division, and I think they probably win a playoff game, get bounced in the divisional by the Bengals, by the Chiefs, like they're supposed to. Yeah, and no shame in that. So I really do. Yeah, I like what the Bills did this offseason, and I want to give them some respect for that. Christian, I'm sorry to say this. I do have your Dolphins missing the playoffs.
That's fair. I think we're one of those teams that are on the bubble for a lot of people. Like I don't blame them. I think I might honestly. I thought about keeping them out of the playoffs. I really
wanted to put them in, but I got them at 9-8, like second place 9-8, so they're right there.
Fair.
But yeah, kind of very similar to what we've seen in previous years. I have them starting out really strong. I have them losing week 1. And then
I had us winning that game.
And then they go on a 6-game win streak on my list.
We do play the next, so we get home we do get
short week against the Bills.
But yeah, we do get the Bills week 2, first Thursday night game of I guess technically the first
it's
official
the first short week though. Yeah,
Amazon Prime. Because this one's not tomorrow isn't officially a Thursday night game. It's on NBC Peacock. So this is the first game of the season. Like the next week we will have that Thursday night primetime game, which is gonna be a tough one. Which I think I have the Bills winning that one. They really have no problems coming into Miami and
I got them beating the Bills. I have
you guys going 2-1. Oh no, you're 1-1.
I have the Bills starting 0-2. But I think the Bills turn it
They'll
around. They
fix it.
find their groove. But so yeah, I have the Bills going or the Dolphins going 9-8, missing the playoffs. I have the Jets in third place at 8-9. I really do want to believe in the Jets. Like I because I hear it. It's like
Don't do it.
they've won
Don't do it.
7 games with
Don't do it.
terrible quarterback
I
play.
don't care.
If they
I
get
don't care.
league average play,
They not
and
that good.
I'm like,
They
can they
not
not
that
win
good.
10 games? Like
They not
I don't
that
know.
good.
I think they're injury prone. I do have them starting out hot. I do have them starting out. Let's
Yeah.
see.
What, you got to beat the 49ers week
I
one?
do. I do have them beating the 49ers week one. I do have them beating the 49ers week one.
I'm disappointed. I am
Um,
disappointed in you, Jake.
Look, they have a talented,
History.
they're gonna fall apart at the end of the year. That's what's gonna happen. Like Tyron Smith's gonna miss games.
Let me look up Aaron Rodgers versus the.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. You don't have to do that. It's not good. A
No,
lot of
I'm
that's in
bringing
the
up the
playoffs,
stats.
though. A
I'm
lot of that's in the
bringing it-
playoffs.
What was that one year where they were playing like it was when Jimmy G got hurt and they were playing with like CJ Beathard. Didn't
It was
he
Nick
still lose
Mullins,
that game?
I think. They won
Nick
that game.
Mullins.
They
What
won
did
that game. They
The
won
Packers won that game?
it. The Packers won the game as barely, though.
Oh, I thought the 49ers won that game. No, Aaron
Well,
Rodgers.
the 49ers were a bad team that year because their quarterback got hurt. So, like,
Yeah.
it's nothing to write home about, but
In the okay, he's 0-3 versus in the postseason.
yeah,
he's
he's bad in the postseason.
He's 6-6. Yeah, okay, I thought it was worse.
Look, I'm not dying on that hill. I'm just saying the Jets will start out hot and then they'll fall apart. I have them at 8-9, missing the
Week one
playoffs.
on the road in San Fran. I think.
And then I have the Patriots at 4-13. I just
You
this
think we see
offense
Drake
is
May?
non-existent. I have no idea what I'm going to get with Gerard Mayo, and I know that defense. I know that defense is not going to be as good.
Yeah.
The Patriots because you just do not lose
You
Bill
lost.
Belichick,
Yeah, then
and you see
You're
that
still a
defense
top
that-
5 defense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the Patriots are just going to be bad. So yeah,
Do you
those
think
are the
we see
predictions.
Drake May this year?
I do. I have them starting 2-7. I think that Week 9 spot against the Titans,
Yeah,
good
that's
spot
that's-
to maybe
that's
squeeze them in because that's after you play the Jets. I don't think you want to play them against the Jets.
You're not.
You don't want to
Cody
play them on the
Williams
road
and
against
them boys.
Jacksonville, and I think before that you're still like we still got a chance. So
Yeah.
we're hosting the Dolphins and then we host the Texans and then they'll lose both those games and their season will be over. But I digress. So okay,
You're okay. Yeah, you went mute for a second. Oh, you unplugged it. Technical difficulties, people. All right, I guess just to go through it. For I guess we'll start with the AFC. So number 1 seed for me, the Kansas City Chiefs, 13-4. Then the second place goes to the Bengals, 12-5. I think Jake has the
you
Bengals
hear me?
first and the Chiefs. Bengals first and Chiefs second. And then
I
third
think you can
seed,
hear
I
me.
have the Texans. Fourth seed
no.
being the Bills. And then the fifth, sixth, and seventh. The fifth being the Ravens. The sixth being the Dolphins. And the seventh being the Chargers. Jake, do you still need some time?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, so I'll keep
Give me-
going. And for the NFC, I have the 49ers winning this division, winning the conference once again at 12-5. Then I have the Eagles 11-6, the Detroit Lions 11-6, and the Buccaneers at the 4th spot at 8-9, and the 5th, 6th, and 7th. I think I hear you now. I have the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cowboys as my NFC playoffs. You don't sound the same. You're good, man. I can tell you what I think is gonna go down in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead and go to your
AFC
playoffs.
AFC Championship. I think if we get a healthy Joe Burrow, I think it's gonna be Kansas City, Cincinnati, AFC Championship. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna give it to Cincinnati.
All right.
I don't know. I think history might play a part in this. We haven't had a team go win 3 straight Super Bowls back to back to back. But I mean, I could easily see the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl this year. But I'll say the Bengals with Joe Burrow staying healthy. I think Joe Burrow will keep them out. And then for the NFC, I think the I'm gonna have the 49ers Lions in there, and I'll go with the Lions. I'll go with the Lions.
Oh snap! You got the can you and you can hear me right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right,
You
bet.
look, you sound way better. I'll go with the Lions this year. I
Lions
mean,
over Niners.
yeah, I thought I was gonna go 49ers, man. I've been ever since they kept the only things that hold me back was the Ayuk and the Trent Williams thing, and they made the NFC Championship, but
So
I think
you got the Niners, the Lions, Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
yeah, I have Lions Chiefs.
All right. I'll give mine, and then we can pick the winners. So really quick to run through my playoff teams in the AFC. I have the
Oh
Bengals.
Bengals Lions, but I think the Chiefs could. It's either way, but the Bengals Lions are my pick. That's what I'm going with into the season. Bengals Lions.
Okay.
Do you have it? Do you have Bengals Lions?
I'll tell you in a second. I have the Bengals as the 1 seed. I have the Chiefs as the 2. I have the Colts as the 3rd. I have the Bills as the 4th in the AFC. Wild cards. I got the Ravens, Chargers, and Jags. Or Ravens, Jags, and Chargers. And then in the NFC, I have the Lions the 1 seed, the Rams 2, Cowboys 3, Falcons 4. And in the wild card spots, I have the Packers, Niners, and Cardinals. In the conference championship, I have the Chiefs and the Bengals, and I have the Rams and the Lions.
Oh yeah, the Rams. I forgot the Rams are your boys.
Yeah, I like the Rams this year.
Ooh, I think you could probably go Rams. Are you going Rams Bengals? Rams Chiefs.
I went Bengals Lions.
Bengals Lions. Damn.
Dang, that's a bit of a bummer, honestly. I didn't think we had to say. I felt really good about that. So, who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
Whew, that one I haven't thought about. So if I have Bengals Lions,
I've already got my pick, so I'll let you think about it.
Where's the Super Bowl being played at?
I want to say
No, it's not Tennessee. They are getting a new stadium, but they're not this year.
I'm looking it up. It is in New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay. Bengals Lions. I'm gonna. You know, I think I'm gonna go Bengals.
Wow, I also went Bengals.
Mm.
This is devastating, Christian. We should scrap this whole podcast episode. This is
we
devastating. We have the same Super Bowl picks. We have Bengals Lions, and we're both.
Well, you know what's funny? I just thought of that, because when I finally looked at it, I'm like, all right, who am I picking? And then I just picked who I thought.
Well, see, this is why I like this program, because you can it tells you who the playoff matchups are, and you can pick the playoff matchups.
Yeah.
And so I just picked the playoff matchups, and that's what I ended up with. So I feel really good about Bengals Lions. I feel it could be Bengals Rams, it could be Chiefs Rams, Chiefs Lions, but I feel really good about those final four, and I feel good about Bengals Lions. I'm gonna be rooting for crazy for the Chiefs. Because I not only just love Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but I would love to see them do history and be the first team to go 3 straight Super Bowl wins.
A lot of people will not like that.
I know people are just haters. I get it, but
I am hating.
I get it. I don't get it. I don't. It's fine. I really would love to see that, but
I know
I'm
it's history,
not betting it will happen. I think there's a reason it hasn't happened. And look, maybe they're good enough to break that streak, but I'm not going to pick them to do it. So I got Bengals, and I also have the Bengals at home. So the Chiefs have to travel. So yeah, Bengals. So that's it. So Christian, have you given any thought to award winners?
Not really. I'll say MVP. Not gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say Patrick Mahomes. Reason being, they got some speed back. I think he's even talked about, even though he's okay, Patrick Mahomes, he's okay with how they've gone to the Super Bowl these past few years with Dinkin and Duncan. But I think he's talked about he probably wants to push. It hasn't been fun, so I think with Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy from Texas, I think they're gonna at least try to push the ball downfield. Rashee Rice, I think, is going to get suspended. They did pick up Juju Smith-Schuster. So we'll see how that goes. Isaiah Pacheco will probably fine. He's gonna be great. Travis Kelsey, if they have some speed, that'll open him up in the middle of the field. He'll be on one-on-one coverage. It's going to be interesting to see how the Chiefs attack, or how the Chiefs are going to look, and like how defense are going to attack them now that they got some speed back. And then it's going to be interesting to see if we ever see the Taylor Swift play. Apparently, she was drawing up. She was drawing up. She was
Maybe when
drawing up
they're
plays.
beating the Raiders 30.
I think that is when they will unveil that play, is when they're playing the Raiders. They got extra motivation to play the Raiders this year because they said they had the blueprint and all that stuff. They're talking, and then they did the Kermit thing, but that is whatever. People been doing that since he's been drafted. So yeah, I got Patrick Mahomes MVP. Yeah.
I also have Patrick Mahomes MVP, and the biggest reason I do is because I think they're really going to want to give it to him. I think if Patrick Mahomes has a season,
he's motivated. Like,
he's the defending Super Bowl champ.
Yeah.
Like,
he felt slighted because he didn't get number one in the 100 poll.
Yeah, like he's won back to back. Like, I think they're gonna be wanting to give it to him. So I think if he has even like a semblance of a season worthy of an MVP season, they're gonna probably give it to him.
It's kind of like Jokic at this point.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, I don't think Jokic is gonna win it this year. I think they're gonna feel bad if they give it to Jokic again.
Yeah, I mean, but I do think I've always thought the NFL MVP is a lot more fair. At least, I mean, I know they always give it to quarterbacks, but you don't get that. They're not going to not give it to somebody just because of like a narrative. Like, LeBron James will never get a fifth MVP because they don't ever want him to be on that level with Michael Jordan. I don't think the NFL cares about that.
I disagree with that a little bit. I just don't think LeBron is what he used to be.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying now. I'm saying he would have never been given it, even when he probably deserved it back in early 2010s. Whenever
he lost a few of them. Yeah, win it every year. You can't get it. You can't win it every year.
Yeah, I think the NFL, like, they're like, we'll give it to you every year. You throw 45 touchdowns, 3 picks every year. We're gonna give it to you every year. Like, I don't know, but offensive player of the year. Yeah, this one's tough.
Offensive player of the year. I have a few players. Tyreek, Christian McCaffrey, obviously. Joe Burrow, if he's not in the MVP, if he wins it, or
CD could be just because he's so like all by himself on that offense.
Oh, yeah, true. Jamar, maybe.
I like Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson, love that because he's gonna be.
He's gonna get. It's
gonna be that whole offense.
I also do like on the Rams either Puka Nacua or Kyron Williams is like a sleeper pick.
I like that.
I'm probably going to go. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say Puka Nacua.
I'll go Justin Jefferson. I think
you can't go wrong with Puka. You can't go wrong with Justin Jefferson. He's gonna get so many targets this year. Okay. And then, another sleeper, maybe Terry McLaurin, because I think Jane Davis is going to feed him the ball like crazy.
I need everyone to Scary Terry. I hope he has a great season.
Defensive player of the year.
TJ Watt. Oh, wait, nah, Mike could be talking that mess, but...
Is Micah going to finally do it this year?
Yeah, can he play better back half of the season, please?
I
think it'll be TJ Watt or what's his name?
Miles Garrett.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of them.
I like Max Crosby as kind of
he'll be in a running
sleeper pick,
but I don't know if he'll have. He might not have like the. Well, I guess it doesn't depend on record for him, but.
No, he leads the league in sacks. They'll give it. He gets 21 sacks. They'll give it to him. But...
Look, if he has 21 sacks, yeah. I don't know if he's going to have that.
I'm going to go Micah. And I'm going. It's a little bit of a homer pick, but
He'll be in the running, but
the here's my logic. Let me lay the
he'll
case out.
start off
So
great. He's like the Dolphins. He'll
well,
start off great, and then
he starts off great because Dan Quinn kept doing the thing I didn't want him to ever do, and that was we're just gonna have Michael's just gonna be a full time pass rusher,
yeah, he cannot.
and he
He's too
can't
small.
do it. He's just not built that way. Like he's amazing at it, but
Reflections. He needs. He
you
needs
get
all that.
halfway through the year, and it's like, dude, he's worn down. Like whereas Mike Zimmer has talked about putting Micah everywhere again, putting him as an off-ball linebacker,
I mean,
putting him
yeah,
back
it
in
helps
coverage,
him to where he's
sending.
not the same. The sorry, my bad. I
No,
cut
yeah,
you
you're
off.
good. I mean, it's. I just think you're gonna see that approach is going to preserve Micah for a
Okay,
lot longer, and I think
didn't realize
Micah's.
Mike Zimmer. Okay.
Yeah, and I think he'll have 12 sacks. I think he could have a couple interceptions. I think he
Yeah,
could have a lot more tackles. Like I think his impact will be a lot more spread out, but it will be more consistent because you're playing him more as an off-ball linebacker. So it's a little bit of a homer pick. Like
No,
I'm
I
not
mean
blind to it,
he's
but
always in that discussion.
I think Micah this could be the year he does it because of that approach. So
If I mean I didn't if I didn't know Max Zimmer was going to change that up. I love that too. I think that's what he needs to be doing. Like not rushing the passer all the time. I think he needs to be rushing pastures here, maybe one-on-one coverage here and there in the middle of the field. Like yeah, I do like that approach.
how about offensive rookie of the year? There's a lot to pick from. I've got it down to 3 players.
It was Marvin Harrison Jr. Uh,
Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels.
oh, yeah, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels.
Those are
Yeah,
the 3. So I
maybe
think
like
it'll
a
be one of those
sleeper.
3.
I'll put like a sleeper, Jalen Warren from the I think that's his name. I just think maybe like how A Chain stepped in, like popped up out of nowhere. Not popped out of well, it kind of, because we still have Raheem Mostert there. But I think he'll probably have some utility. I'm not saying he gonna win it. I'm just saying like as a dark horse. Obviously, he can maybe get some snaps if we get some injuries and stuff like that. Who else is out there? Malik Neighbors. Yeah, I think he'll be on that list. Roman Dunze, yeah, but I think it's going to be the quarterback. We had a lot of quarterbacks drafted, so it's
Yeah,
probably
Bo
going to be
Nix.
Bo Nix.
I have a weird feeling it's gonna be Jaden Daniels.
I mean, if they have a semi, like I know we both have them going 9-8. If they win like 7-10 game, they win like 7. They go 7-10. They might, depending on how Caleb Williams looks, really.
Marvin Harrison Jr. I have him in the playoffs, so like if he balls out this year, which he very well might, like he's a great candidate. I think they're gonna want to give it to Caleb.
Yeah,
but
he has a semi decent year. Like yeah,
I think Caleb will be the runaway favorite.
Unless Jaden McDaniels is just outstanding.
I think that's what we'll see. I think Jaden Daniels is. I think Caleb Williams in the long term is going to be the best quarterback of the group, but it wouldn't surprise me if after this year Jaden Daniels just has a better rookie year. So I'll go Jaden Daniels. I'll go on a limb and say Jaden Daniels.
I'll go Marvin Harrison, but yeah,
I love that.
It's probably going to be a quarterback. It's probably going to be one of them.
All right, defensive rookie of the year.
Well, I don't even remember the defensive rookie.
Yeah, there's not a lot of them. If you remember, the first one didn't go for like the first. Dallas Turner is the favorite. And
where'd he go?
He went to the Vikings.
Probably not. I'll see. Who else was there?
There's Latu for the Colts. There's
Maybe.
Byron Murphy for the Vikings. There's Terrion Arnold for the Lions. That's probably who I'm going. I'm going Terrion Arnold, corner that the Lions took. That's my pick. I'll go them. But I don't think you can go wrong with
maybe the Colts
Dallas.
kid. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. And then coach of the year.
Ooh, that's a good one. The coach of the year. I might go Jimmy Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. That's a great pick. Dang,
I mean,
that's
they go
a really
10
good pick.
and 7, and they make the playoffs. Like
Yeah,
Justin Herbert had, he went from having the worst statistical season of his career last year. He goes to being back to at least being back to where he was, and they make the playoffs.
Dang, you might have just.
He might do it again.
I won't copy you, but you did kind of just convince me. But I'll go Dan Campbell.
That's fair.
I'll go Dan Campbell. No, I don't. I
Number
don't hate
two
that.
in the NFC.
I have them at one, and I have them winning. I
Oh,
have them
number
winning
one.
the
Number
NFC.
one, Detroit Lions is crazy.
So yeah. Okay. Those are your final predictions, folks. We
That's
did.
it.
So
Took us a minute, but we got here.
it's all good. So now we can hit our week one. Christian, it's here. It's done. It's done. We're here.
We're here.
It's week one. This is the start of it. So
This is it.
where do you want to go, Christian? Do you have a segment you want? I thought you had a segment you wanted to talk about maybe doing.
I'll bring it back for the tiers. After week one, it's about the same. Nothing's really changed. If you want to know what it was, Chiefs number one, up at the top, all by the lonesome. Second tier, maybe had the Ravens, Bengals, Lions, 49ers, and Rams. Next tier below them, if you're lucky, I called them. I got the Texans, Bills, Eagles, Dolphins, Cowboys, Seahawks. Then my next tier below them is if you squint, so maybe the bubble teams. Packers, Browns, which I do like the Packers. Chargers, Colts, and Jaguars. Then I had a tier just called Mike Tomlin, and it's the Steelers. It's just the Steelers in that one. Then I had the NFC South, and it is everyone except the Panthers, the Falcons, the Saints, and the Bucks. I really think it's only out of the Bucks and the Falcons, but the Saints are there. I can't. I don't know what to do with them, but they're right there. Then just below them, I have the Cardinals, the Broncos, the Giants, Raiders, and Jets. Don't know what I'm gonna get for them. The Broncos, rookie quarterback. Where are the Bears? Oh, I haven't put the Bears in here. Oh yeah, the Bears, Titans, and I'll put Washington. I'll put Washington in the NFC South. I just think Washington could be something. I don't know why. And then I have the rookies and the Jets. I'll put the Jets in the NFC South division. Sure, the Jets could be something. Not too much, but a little something. And then which leaves the Cardinals, Broncos, Giants, Raiders, Bears, and Titans. Cardinals, I think, is the best of this division. Broncos probably the second best. Outside of that, I don't really care. Well, the Bears could be okay. We'll see. And then just below them, I got the Vikings and the Patriots. Don't think they're going to be very good.
Yeah.
And then the Panthers at the very bottom in their lone bracket right now.
Rude.
That's all me.
Right.
We can go into. Do you want to do Jake's bets?
It's time. Yes.
It is time. I've been waiting for this. I will also give one, just one. Follow Jake's advice.
I mean,
Jake is usually way better than me.
I want to give some quick background, some quick ground rules.
How'd you finish last year?
Last year we went 53%, which is barely profitable, but it is profitable. Barely though. So the goal is to get to 60% is insane. If we go 60%, amazing. We're probably not ever going to do that, but if I can go 55%, that's where the top level pro gamblers pick. So that's the goal. So really quick, every week I'm going to give 5 bets that I recommend. They're all going to be against the spread. So it's going to be 5 games, picking a side on the spread. No parlays, no money line. I'm not none of that. It's against the spread, no props, nothing. 5 a week. That means over the course of 18 weeks, it'll be 90 games in the regular season, and then I'll pick 10 games in the postseason for 100 total bets on the year. Last year, got 53 of them. We were 46 and 44 going into the playoffs, and I hit 70% of the playoffs. So it really saved that percentage there. That's the rules. As far as how I pick games, so if I have a push one week, I'll try to pick 6 games the next week to make up for it. So we're always going to be hitting that number, even if it means I have to pick a makeup game because a game pushed the week before. I'm not opposed to picking. We have games kind of all over the place this year. We have games on Wednesday night. We have a game on Thursday. We have a game this week on Friday. We have games later. So I'm not opposed to picking games on those days, but I will usually not, unless it's a surefire bet, because A, we record on Wednesday, so picking a game for Thursday the night before is just a little rough. But also B, I don't want to lose on Thursday and have to sit at 0-1 for the next 2 days. Like I just don't want to do that to myself. So I'm not opposed to it. It might happen.
So,
but it will not usually happen.
Special days it'll be. Did you take this first one?
So with that,
no, you stay away from the Chiefs. You stay away from it. It's probably all. Is it all Sunday?
It's not all Sunday.
Oh,
it's not all Sunday.
I think you picked the Packers one. I don't think you touched the Chiefs one.
Well, I don't want to spoil.
You break your rule, God.
I don't want to spoil nothing, but so 53% last year, trying to go for 60. If we hit 55, 60. We're good. So
I don't know if you get 60. I mean that could be the ceiling.
That's my like dream, but I don't know if it happens. So okay, so let's go ahead. So this week there were actually like 8 games that I really liked.
Oh wow.
Really quick, just to talk about the Chiefs Ravens. Usually
-3.
I would take the Chiefs here. As I often say, I'm a simple man. I go to work. I kiss my wife goodnight. I walk my dog. I cook dinner for myself. I bet Patrick Mahomes -3 or under. But there's too many. Yes, Patrick Mahomes at this place is like 80%. Lamar Jackson as an underdog is amazing. And he's like 12-1.
But versus the Chiefs, though,
I'm staying away from it. I'm staying away from it. Not touching it. I've got an 80% side and a 90% side. I'm not picking between those. I'm leaving it alone. So not betting the Thursday.
Are you doing the Friday one?
I am doing the Friday one. The Friday one is one of my bets.
What's the spread on this one? It's Eagles 2.5.
Yeah, it's very 2.5.
Really? Okay. Oh, it's a pick. Yeah, it's a pick-up game.
It's 2.5. It depends on where you're getting it, but
on ESPN, I think it says 2.5. Philly favorite.
I'll take 2.5. Yeah, either way. I would love it if it was a 3, but I'm not complaining. This is a weird one because it's in Brazil, so there's that unknown.
Yeah, there's no home field advantage.
There's a lot of pro gamblers that are on the Eagles.
They one thing I learned, people were complaining, not complaining, but asking about Nick Sirianni playing his starters, and he really doesn't do that. They have started off. I think they've been like 5-0 or something. I don't remember what the record is, but they've been undefeated opening up the season.
Under Nick Sirianni?
Under Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, so he's 3-0 in that. So that's cool, but this
is a weird one, though.
Yeah,
this is a
lot of people I respect have told me to stay away from it.
I can see that. I mean, it's Brazil.
I wanted to, but there's just something in my gut. Oh. The Eagles are coming in with 2 new coordinators. They're coming in with a young, fresh secondary. And if the Packers are what we think they are with Jordan Love, they're going to carve them up. I think the Packers, Matt LaFleur as an underdog is great. He's like 19-8 over the last year and a half or something. There's so much I like about what the Packers are bringing in, and there's so much I don't like about what the Eagles are bringing. And I think the Packers are probably going to win this game straight up, and they're getting points. So against my better judgment, ignoring the advice of people who know much more than me about this, I am going with the Packers as my first pick.
You want the Packers? All right, plus the +2, +2,
+2.5. And to be clear,
all right,
these are subject to change. We'll do a post on Friday, because the numbers change. Like the numbers change between now and then. So
injuries and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
It's like I tell everybody bet this game at 2.5 on Wednesday, and by the time kickoff rolls around, it's 1.
It's a 1.
I'm gonna adjust and finalize these picks ahead of kickoff. So Not it's penciled in, not permanent, but penciled in Packers +2. Let's go to Sunday.
Let's go Sunday.
This one I feel is not a lock, but it's pretty locky.
Oh my god.
Wait. I got the Steelers +3.5.
Oh, Steelers. Okay.
I just.
Wait, is that a Mike Tomlin underdog?
That is a Mike Tomlin underdog. Now he's on the road. He's on the road, not at home.
I thought. Wait.
They're on the road. They're not at home. But
okay, I thought
it's still Mike Tomlin's an underdog. I'm getting the Steelers with T.J. Watt, this great defense. Mike Tomlin's an underdog, and I know their quarterback situation's iffy, but like that's not the identity of this team. The Falcons.
What are they like? They're like not undefeated, but they're like almost unbeatable if T.J. Watt plays.
Yeah, I mean their record is crazy, and for the Falcons, I've got a new coach, I've got a new quarterback who's 36 years old coming off an injury, and he's going against a great defense. Like, that's not playing the Steelers. Week 1 is not the game I want to get my chemistry down with my new guys as a 36-year-old quarterback coming off an injury. Like, I just Steelers +3.5 in a field, like that's a field goal and then some. I feel very confident about the Steelers in this spot. I like them here, so Steelers +3.5.
Okay.
All right, this one gets a little gross.
Ooh, gross.
Giants +1.5.
Okay, against the Vikings.
Against the Vikings. Look.
Okay.
You go really? Right now. Really? Why the Giants? Let me put it this way. You want to bet Sam Darnold as a road favorite? Is that what the business you're in? Because if that's the business you're in, you do you, homie. But that's not the business I'm in. I'm going to fade Sam Darnold as a road favorite against the Giants. So, I don't love the Giants.
Better than playing the Cowboys over again. Yeah, thank God we didn't get that again.
I'll go the Giants +1.5 here. I think they win outright. I think the Vikings are a little bit of a mess, and I think the Giants, for all their warts and how bad I do think they'll be this year, I think this is a good spot for them.
Okay. That's crazy. The Vikings are favored in this?
Yeah, they are. All right, next one. This one's tough. This one's a tough one.
Which one are you going with?
This is where it gets a little dicey because there's a few I still really liked, but I decided to stay away from. So I'll talk about those, but in a little bit. But this one, how can I not take the Panthers +4?
Panthers +4 on the road.
You're getting a field goal play. I think the Saints are probably not as good as I think the Panthers are probably the better team.
Really?
They're on the road, they're getting a field goal and a point. It's too many points. It's too many points. So I got it's tough. I know they have a new coach. They're on the road.
New coach. At least I'm not saying the Saints fans are optimistic, but
it's my least favorite pick.
Yeah,
it's my least favorite.
They're like, I think we can beat the Panthers. I know they're at least probably confident they can beat the Panthers.
Look, I'm not saying they'll lose. I'm just saying they won't win by more than 4 points.
Division game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, there's a couple of it might switch out. It's penciled in. Okay. It's penciled in.
+4. All right.
It's just too many points. And then this one, Christian, this is my favorite pick of the week.
Really?
This is my favorite pick of the week right here.
Which one is it?
I don't know who is doing this. Who is on drugs here? I don't know who thought it was a good idea to give the Colts 3 points against the Texans. That's insane.
Aren't the Texans not great in Indianapolis or something like that?
I don't know.
I do like that.
I don't know. But
wait, you're doing Colts +3?
Colts +3. I have a home underdog playing a division rival, and this home underdog I think is also going to win the division. So, I love the Colts here. Colts +3. I mean there's no guarantees in gambling, but that's as close to a guarantee as you get. Like that, I don't do a lock of the week, but I feel very, very confident about that. So those are my 5. Really quick, penciled in, finalized them by the end of the week. But what I got: Packers +2, Steelers +3.5, Giants +1.5, Panthers +4, and the Colts +3. I've got 3 others I do want to talk about briefly, but Christian, I'll let you give me what which one you're looking at. Which one caught your attention?
One caught my attention. It is a lot. It's a big spread here. I think it's the biggest. Yeah, it's the biggest spread I see.
Yeah,
But I'm
go ahead.
trying to get off the board. I'm trying to get off the board here. With the win here, I'm just gonna take the easy layup. I got the Bengals minus 8.5.
Oh no!
That's a lot of
Dang, that's
points.
a
Look,
lot of
that's a lot of
points.
that is a lot of points. But I know the Bengals don't get off to a great start. They are healthy. Joe Burrow is healthy. Jamar Chase looks like he's coming to practice, so that's another thing that they have to look forward to. I like the Bengals roster. I'm not very confident in this Patriots team. Like offensively, I think they're going to struggle. Their offensive line is not very good. They're going to try to run the ball and stuff like that. And I think the Bengals, if they can just shut the run down, you really don't have to be that too afraid of Jacoby Brissett. So if they can keep the Patriots off schedule, keep them into for sure passing plays. So third and six, yeah, third and six and beyond. They can keep them to that. I think that's in the bag for them. So yeah, I mean, as we talked, like the Bengals don't get off to good starts, but I think this is a very good. They're at home. They get the Patriots. Shouldn't be. They should be able to get out of this with. Is that two possessions. I just
Yeah,
thought about
that's a
that.
big stretch.
Actually, man,
I don't
two.
know.
I think I might flip that. I just realized.
You
Yeah,
going
8.
Patriots plus 8? It's
Patriots plus
gross. It's
two
disgusting.
possessions. You know what? I'm gonna exit out of that. I'll go. I'll go. Seattle minus 6.
Okay, actually, that's one of the favorites that I do like.
I'll go that
I
because
like
I'm
that.
like two possessions. That's a lot of points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that pick.
Seattle. They're at home. I
Playing
think
a
they'll be a
rookie.
little bit better. They're playing a rookie. On the road, Seattle. It's week 1, so I imagine that stadium's going to be packed. They're going to be loud. So it's going to be a different environment for Bo Nix to get acclimated to. Um, so yeah, I'll go Seattle minus 6.
Yeah, I don't
That's
hate that.
a little bit more favorable. Yeah, I just thought about that Bengals
The
Patriots
the
one.
so the three that aren't, well, I guess four that I liked but I
Oh,
didn't love enough to put in my
Minnesota's good.
five. The Patriots plus 8 was one of them. I wanted to do Patriots plus 8, but
That's
I
a
just
lot of points, man.
Gerard Mayo. I don't know what I'm getting from him. I don't. This offense looks insanely just you know
Basic.
bad.
Yeah.
I just don't have. I don't have enough confidence that they can actually cover. This could be a 27-10 game, and I don't think anybody would be surprised. Another one I really liked was the Cardinals and Bills. Um,
Oh, you like that one?
I think there's a chance the Cardinals win that game outright. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Damn.
And
I
plus
did
six
not
and a
think.
half is a lot of points, but it's one of those where it's like I'll talk a big game, but then it's like you gonna tell people to bet on it though, and all of a sudden I'm a little more quiet. So you
So
know, but I do like that. That one's not bad. And then the Browns Cowboys.
Seattle plus 6.
I like the Cowboys
Probably
plus
minus
two and
6.
a half. Um,
Really? I don't like that
I,
game, man.
I
I did
stayed
not
away
like that
from it. I didn't like it enough. I don't know enough about what I'm getting because the Browns are at home. Dallas is bad on the road. The Browns defense is great at home, but Deshaun Watson's also bad. I don't know what to expect, so I stayed away from that one. And
That's
then
fair.
the other one, the Jets plus 4 against the Niners. I thought that was going to be on the 5. I really did, and
Uh,
it didn't make the cut. So I guess it still might. It might replace that Panthers one, but yeah, those are my thoughts on the bets this week. So again, just one more time to rehash it: Packers plus 2, Steelers plus 3.5, Giants plus 1.5, Panthers plus 4, and Colts plus 3. So all underdogs. I love underdogs, so that's pretty much what I stick with. And then Christian has Seahawks minus 6 against the Broncos at home. So cool. All right. Christian, with all that out of the way, with all that done,
Picking these
it's time to
games.
pick some games. So I'll
All
let you tee
right.
us off. We got tomorrow
Woo.
night, Chiefs hosting the
Tomorrow night,
Ravens. Banner
hosting the
night.
Raven. Yeah, banner night, getting ring ceremony, all that jazz.
Who you
As we
got?
know, was this the championship game? AFC
It's the AFC
championship game.
Championship game.
Rematch of the AFC championship game. I know both teams should be motivated. Kansas City opening opening ceremony, opening banner, all that. Also, last year they lost a pretty close one to Detroit, so they want to avenge that. And then, but the Ravens also have motivation. They've always been in the Chiefs' shadow. Lamar Jackson winning MVP, but falling short in the playoffs. I think it's very important. I think this game means more to the Ravens than to the Chiefs, obviously, because I think the Ravens kind of need that get off like off the blocks like really quickly, like because they lost a whole bunch of defensive players, they lost a bunch of defensive coaches and stuff like that. So it's going to be very important. They got a new face on defense, Derrick Henry, which I think should help with them to, will help the Ravens with an advantage there because the Chiefs now don't just have to worry about Lamar and stuff like that. They gotta worry about getting ran over and stiff armed to death. So um, it is in Kansas City. It's gonna be a very very hype game. Very excited for this one. Glad we got this to be our week one starter. But I'm gonna open it up with the Chiefs winning this one. I mean, shocker there, really. I just, I don't know. I'm rooting for the Ravens. Obviously, I just want a good game. But the Chiefs usually do start off really well. In the beginning of the season, they go through a really tough. They have the toughest preseasons. Andy Reid really coaches them hard, so I think they'll be ready. It's really going to be an interesting matchup to see. Especially both of these defenses coming in. I think the Ravens were number one, the Chiefs were number two. It's going to be interesting to see how they come out, and then both offenses. I'm obviously excited to see. We'll get to see if Patrick Mahomes is going to push the ball down the field a little bit more instead of like the dinking and dunking stuff. Which I mean, like to each his own. Like is as long if they're in the middle of the season and it's not going the way they planned it, I think we'll see Patrick Mahomes will dink and dunk his way all the way to the Super Bowl. He doesn't care. And also with the Ravens, Derrick Henry coming in, it's going to be interesting to see that. But I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
I'm also going with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
just
rooting for him. I'm
too
rooting for
many
him.
questions about the Ravens. I mean, the Chiefs have. It's like the inconsistencies the Chiefs have between last year and this year are fun. It's like they have new receivers, a lot of speed, but they're returning a lot of the guys. Whereas the Ravens lost their defensive coordinator to the Seahawks, which is a big loss.
Lost like several defensive coaches.
Lost several, yeah, and lost a few defensive players, which is
Players,
a
yeah,
problem.
key players, yeah. But
They
that's just
lost
they'll be solid.
three offensive linemen,
Yeah,
three starting offensive linemen. So,
which I think Chiefs O line is pretty intact.
John
Creed
Harbaugh,
Humphrey from last year was
yeah,
amazing.
John Harbaugh, he's like 12-4 in week one. Like, off rest, John Harbaugh is dangerous, and I do love that, and I understand all those trends, and those are there, and those are real. So I'm definitely not counting the Ravens out.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like there's too much newness and too much loss to the Ravens
It's gonna take a
to
minute.
go into to go into Arrowhead week
Arrowhead
one
week one.
and beat the Chiefs and knock them off, especially when Lamar Jackson. I mean, look, Lamar's 1-4 against Patrick Mahomes. Like that's a
Doesn't
real
have
thing.
doesn't have like a great games playing against Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes.
he and his one win was like this crazy overtime win. I think several years ago. So. I think the Chiefs here are the safe pick. I think they're the right side on this. That's what I got. So I'm in agreement with you on that. All right, let's go to Friday. We're going to
Friday,
Brazil.
Saint Paulo.
So
Saint
Christian,
Paulo.
who you got for the Eagles and the Packers?
Um, dude, I was going to pick the Eagles. Then you kind of convinced me with the your pick there because I'm like I trust Matt LaFleur more than I trust Nick Sirianni. Um, but I mean it does. Ooh, Devin White's going to be out. Isaiah Rogers questionable. James Bradbury injured reserve. Who's out? I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think I am gonna go Packers. Yeah, I'm gonna go Packers here. Who would have thought? I was leaning Eagles like for the longest time. I think I even picked the Eagles to win this game for the how all the games laid out. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go Packers here. I think they'll come in with a better game plan. The new defensive coordinators, or defense and offensive coordinators, gonna be an interesting sight to see. Vic Fangio. I mean, the one of the biggest things that I do think we didn't talk about the Dolphins, but I do think an improvement for the Dolphins will be the defense. It seems like once Vic Fangio left, everyone like had a sigh of relief. Nobody seemed to like him, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can fix that in Philly. And
Yeah.
then, as we already talked about with Kellen Moore, is he really that offensive genius we think he is? We don't
Nah.
know. But I know what Matt LaFleur is. Matt LaFleur has been in the NFC Championship several times. I know it was with Aaron Rodgers, but I think he proved himself last year to prove that
I agree.
he's up. He's a very I think Kyle Shanahan has got him beat, but I mean he's the next best offensive play caller, and they do very well with drafting and all that stuff. And I think Jordan Love, having that playoff success, like having that back half of that season, going into Dallas, beating Dallas, and almost being in the NFC Championship against the 49ers if Jordan Love didn't throw that pick and that stuff. So I'm gonna go Packers here.
Yeah, I'm also, spoiler alert with my bets. I'm going Packers as well. For all the reasons I gave earlier, I just don't trust the Eagles in this spot. Like, again, I fully acknowledge I could be way too down on the Eagles compared to what they deserve to be, but
This is a real good test for them.
I think going into week one, two new coordinators, basically a new offense with what's going to ultimately be a very heavy passing offense. I just that's a
Which
lot, and
if
I just
they
don't have faith that they're
try
gonna.
to throw the ball all the time with
I think
Jalen
that's what's
Hurts,
gonna
it's
happen. I mean, that's like
not gonna go well.
they've basically cleaned they didn't clean their running back room out, but they thinned it out to get Saquon Barkley, who's not an every down back. I mean, Saquon's not taking the ball 20 times a game through the tackles. I mean,
He should
he's
not.
getting the ball 15 to 20 times out of the backfield, maybe some
Some
running
screens.
it inside. Yeah, like so they're not going to be running the ball as much. They're going to be passing it a lot more. I don't trust Kellen Moore. I don't trust Jalen Hurts as a passer like that. So, and I definitely don't trust him in week one in this new system. So I like the Packers here. So, all right, let's get to Sunday. Your
Sunday.
Dolphins hosting the Jaguars,
Throwing that
Christian.
one.
Who you
Um,
got?
it's week one, babies, and we're at home, so I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here. Everyone seems pretty healthy. Let me check real quick. Who's out? Jalen Ramsey questionable. Jalen Phillips questionable. I think all these guys will play. Um, yeah, I mean Dolphins at home. We usually open up the season pretty well. So yeah, they're probably a close one. I think it might be a close one. But I'm
I
going Dolphins.
I'm taking the Jaguars.
You
Yeah,
bitch.
I'm pretty bullish on the Jaguars. Not super bullish, and I have both these teams finishing around the same, but I do have the Jaguars making the playoffs. At home in Miami is tough, and
I mean, this is practice. I mean, this is Jacksonville and Miami. These are what cities that are like what 3-4 hours
yeah.
between each other.
Well, the other thing too is the Dolphins could have some bad. Miami could have some bad weather, and if the weather is bad, I'm
Yeah.
probably taking the Dolphins.
Really?
Trevor
In
Lawrence,
bad weather?
Fumble McGee's out here in the rain.
Oh, if you're
Fumble McGee's.
well, oh wait, no, I think two is if it's like 50 degrees.
Yeah, it's too as bad when it's cold, but
Yeah.
Trevor fumbles it when it's wet. So that's a factor. So tentatively, I'll pick the Jaguars, but
Okay,
I
it's
may
like
flip my pick depending on how the weather lands.
it's like a 4-hour drive. from Jacksonville. A little over 4 hours from Jacksonville to Miami. So
All right.
it's practically a home
Falcons
game.
hosting the Steelers. I'll just be quick. As I said earlier, I'm going Steelers.
Oh, I haven't been writing these down. Oh man.
Oh, whoops.
Oh man. I forgot. I need to be writing these
Yeah,
down.
true. Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm going Steelers. As I mentioned earlier, I just
I think I'm going. Yeah, I'm going Steelers as well.
okay.
Steelers.
Next we got the Giants and the Vikings. As I said earlier, again, I'm going Giants.
Who did I pick? I picked the Packers. Sorry, I'm just catching
No,
up.
yeah, you're good.
Packers, and then I had the Chiefs.
I guess
And
just
then what game did you pick?
I picked Giants, Vikings. I'm going Giants.
Yeah, I guess I'm going with the favorite. I'm going Vikings.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think they could. I think they could be solid. At least for this is like the team that's like on their level. Are you keeping track of yours?
Yeah, I'm taking.
Okay. I'll just keep track of mine.
And then okay, so you took the Vikings. How about Saints Panthers? I will go with the upset and go Panthers.
I think it's just hard for me to think the Saints are going to lose week 1 and they're building against the Panthers. Hell, dude. It's going to be hilarious if it happens, but I'm going to go Saints. Just because it's hard for me to think that the Saints are going to lose to the Panthers week 1.
I feel you. Bengals Patriots. Nothing crazy here. I'm going Bengals.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say the Bengals.
It's a limb. You know, it's.
I just got a feeling. Yeah.
Man, they're gonna lose now. Because we just made those jokes. They're gonna lose. I remember
every time.
Dude, I remember last year when the Bills played the Patriots. We're just like,
I don't think we even picked it. We just like
we skipped it. We were like, this one's too tough. We're gonna think about this one. And we come back at the end sarcastically and go the Bills, and then they lose. So but I'll go Bengals. How
they
about
do start off rough? They just do not start off great.
How about Bears Titans?
Ooh, Bears. Yeah.
I'm going Bears.
I think I just don't. I think Caleb Williams is gonna get his little spot. He's gonna get his little highlight reel going. They fired our boy. What's his name? Mike Vrabel. They fired Mike Vrabel.
Dumb.
They seem like they're trying to be all in with Will Levis. They're trying to believe in him. So I mean, I do give them that. But outside of that, I just don't like the Titans.
Me neither. I think they're gonna be one of the worst teams in the league. Bills Cardinals. I've got Cardinals.
I have Bills. Bills at home.
That's probably the smart pick.
It's nice weather. So and it's the opening week. I think Bills Mafia is gonna be there showing out there some tables. RIP some tables.
RIP them tables.
RIP them tables. But I maybe expect it. Hopefully this is a good game. I hope I get to see Marvin Harrison Jr. catch some balls and stuff like that, and Kyler Murray. Actually, remember that Bills Cardinals game a few years ago? That crazy game. I think was it Stephon Diggs that caught that ball?
Cardinals Bills. Ooh.
You remember that game? It was like I think it was part of that when the Bills had gone on like a 6-7 game winning streak to make it into the playoffs, which I don't think they were playing bad that year, but they did rattle off some wins, and I think this was one of them. I think it was Stephon Diggs. No, I think DeAndre Hopkins won that game.
Oh, that was the Jordan zoom in of his hands with his gloves.
Yeah, did the Cardinals win that game? Was it versus the Bills?
I don't know. Jordan.
But yeah, it was that last.
It was against the Bills. Yeah, you're remembering it.
Did the Cardinals win that one or did the Bills win that
one? The Cardinals won on a Hail Mary.
Yeah, okay, I thought it was the Bills. But I think after that they started rattling off some wins or stuff like that. I think the Bills are gonna get some revenge. I know they remember that game.
That was the Jordan where you have the photograph of the Jordan gloves and it's just this perfect marketing campaign.
Just DeAndre Hopkins. Nah, that was awesome. But yeah, I'll go Bills here. I say they get some revenge for that game.
All right, Colts Texans. Colts hosting the Texans.
I'm like, I'm gonna go Texans here, but I do. This is giving me Black Air Force energy. I don't think the Texans play well versus the Colts in Indianapolis.
I'm also going the.
But
Or
I'm
no,
gonna pick.
I'm going the Colts.
Uh,
Not also.
yeah, I'm going Texans here.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
love
Houston
the
is the
Colts
favorite
here.
here, but
I
I
think
don't blame you. I do not blame you here.
look. I love C.J. Stroud. I'm rooting for Houston, but I'm a little down on him this year.
You pulled down. Yeah, you got them missing the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a
Entirely.
little.
That's
If you had told me last year going into whenever that
you
the
know,
two
you know
hot
what?
teams are going to be the Texans and the Packers,
Now you gonna pick
and
this
I'm
team.
out here fading the Texans and saying the Packers are going to be good though, like I'd have cried. How about Raiders Chargers?
Chargers.
I'll go Raiders.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not. It's one of the only
Chargers
ones
at
I think
home?
they got. I mean, yeah, but that's basically a Raider game. That's basically a home game for the Raiders.
Yeah, but on the road, I don't know, man. I don't know. Gardner Minshew, I don't trust that one. I'm gonna try.
That's fair. How about Seahawks Broncos? I think we're both in the Seahawks.
Now we're on the. Oh no, we're on the 3 o'clock games. Do I have all of these? Yes.
I think we're both. I think we're both Seahawks.
We're on the 3 off. Yeah. I'm gonna Seattle here. Bo Nix. I know, like he got capped and all that. They seem to trust him, but dude, going on the road in Seattle, that's a Sunday. Like that's a tough one to go to play on the road. That's a big one. Across country too.
It's not really cross country. They're both in the West Coast area.
Never mind. But I think Broncos usually don't play as well on the road versus when they're at home. And with the rookie quarterback starting week 1, that's not the situation you want to. It's not the environment you want to go into week 1.
I believe the last time these two teams played was a couple years ago in week 1 as well, when it was Russell Wilson's first game on the Broncos. And Nat Hackett totally butchered that call at the end with what they were doing, and they lost to the Seahawks.
I mean, that's a little revisionist history, but like he wasn't playing well. Like,
no, he wasn't. But
he should have put the ball.
Also
butchered it. He should have put the ball in his hands. Yeah, he wasn't playing well that game.
Commanders Bucks.
Commanders Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Dang, I'm going Commanders.
I like Jaden McDaniels. I hope he splashes in this game. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Going up against their head coach, what's his name? Bucks head coach. What's his name?
Todd Bowles.
I think he'll cook up something nice. We'll see. Apparently, Jay, like he's a phenomenal athlete, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna pick the Bucks here at home.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all for that. How about
it could be a handful.
Cowboys Browns?
Man, if Nick Chubb was playing, I think I'm still gonna go Cleveland. As you said, Dallas didn't play well in road games back in the last season. It is going to be interesting to see because we don't know what we're going to get out of Deshaun Watson. Nick Chubb isn't there, so it's going to be interesting to see. But the saving grace for the Browns is that defense. It's CeeDee Lamb or bust, really. So I think you take CeeDee out of the game or try to neutralize him. You got a big shot there. So I'm gonna go Cleveland.
I'm going Cowboys.
That's fair.
And the only reason I'm going the Cowboys is because of Deshaun Watson.
That's also
that's it. I mean, if the Browns had if I felt like the Browns had a competent quarterback, I feel like the Browns would be the clear pick here.
Even if they had Nick Chubb, I would.
I mean, honestly, yeah, because you can just lean on the run.
I would feel way better if they had Nick Chubb.
But I think, I get CeeDee Lamb being kind of the lone weapon, but they do have Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson, I think, is pretty solid. I think people are under. This is gonna sound like a homer thing to say, but I do think people are underrating Rico Dowdle. I don't think Rico Dowdle will be amazing, but I don't think their run game will just be absolutely hopeless like people think it will be.
They
So
had an okay one last year with.
yeah, it was pretty rough, but
Yeah.
I think they'll be around that, if not maybe. I don't know, somewhere around there. But I mean, I think their defense is going to really cause problems for Deshaun
Oh
Watson.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Browns' offensive line is great, but they've been having a lot of injuries through camp and preseason on their offensive line. So their offensive line's a bit of a work in progress right now, and I still
Well, I
like the
mean,
Cowboys' defensive
they went
line.
through a
So
whole quarterback carousel throughout the season. So.
so I am picking the Cowboys, but it's
On
not like
Fox. That's
it's
America's
Tom
game.
Brady's first game, by the way. He's calling.
Oh, and Tom Brady. Yeah, that's America. Yeah, that's gonna be America's game on Fox too.
So I am reluctantly picking the Cowboys for those reasons, but it's not. I'm not picking them with my chest.
Yeah, it's gonna be one to watch. It's gonna be one to watch.
All right. We get to finally do this, Christian.
I've been waiting all year for it.
Sunday
What?
night.
Sunday night.
Sunday night football. The first Sunday night football of
What
the
a
season.
Sunday night!
It is a great
game,
one. We got a playoff
yeah.
rematch. We got Matt Stafford going back to Detroit. The
Matthew
Rams and
Stafford's-
the Lions.
What's her name? Kelsey Stafford. I forgot her name, but she's not even going to the game because she doesn't want to be harassed
Yeah, I mean it's
by Lions fans.
it,
so
and
I don't
like,
blame her.
quick preview here. I have this game. This is my NFC Championship game for this year. So we're already getting a sneak preview at that. But Christian, who you got here? This is a really great.
This is a
matchup.
good one, man.
Yeah.
This is a real good one, dude. This is man. I'll go Rams.
I'm
I
going
don't think-
Lions.
I think I've been taking the. I think there's a few I haven't taken, but I've mostly taken the favorites throughout these games. So I'll say this is my upset.
I'm going Lions. I'm not picking an upset here.
I mean that's fair.
Yeah, I just Lions at home. I think they'll take care of business. Yeah, I just,
I picked the Packers. So.
it's an insane thing. I cannot believe
Oh,
I'm saying it, but I trust the Lions. I just trust the Lions here.
I trust both of these teams.
I do too.
I trust both.
I think the
of these
Lions
teams.
are a better team. The Lions,
It is the Rams are feisty. I don't know.
the Lions just make my heart sing with how they've built their team. That's just
That
they've
is
built
fair.
the team the way I think you should build a team. Great offensive line play, great defensive line play,
Yeah.
build from the outside. They've got I just love a lot about the Lions. So anyway, yeah, this is a great game though. And then we go into Monday Night Football. Dun dun dun
Jets.
dun with the Jets playing in San
visiting the
Francisco.
49ers.
Off
Aaron
the
Rodgers
rip,
gets to play the 49ers once again.
I'm going the Jets.
You're like, I'm going 49ers.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I just there's
Look, I would have said if they didn't get Trent Williams signed, I probably would have went the Jets.
you're not
That
wrong
defense-
to
That
even
defensive line is tough, but
yeah.
with Trent Williams there, I think they'll be better. So it won't be Brock Purdy has to run around like with his head cut off trying to throw the ball. So I think it's gonna be a tough game. Don't get me wrong. Like I
Okay.
think it's
Not
gonna
running
be. I
away
think
with it.
no, not running away with it. I think what is the spread? What, 4.5?
Four, yeah, somewhere.
That's about. I think it's gonna be close. Can Aaron Rodgers play a series?
like that. Yeah, I mean, we last year on Monday night, we all know what happened.
Was that Monday? That
It was
a
Monday night against the Bills,
Dude.
and the guy who injured him is playing on the 49ers.
Oh man. So it is going to be interesting to see. Emotionally, where's Aaron going to be about with that? He did just tear his Achilles. This is the team he, famously upset that he didn't get drafted by, and he's been scorned all these years by this team, and they just keep kicking his ass. So I'm going to say the 49ers. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he the one who said they're gonna regret drafting me. It's
And
like,
they
nah.
They They just, I mean, to be
Maybe
fair,
that. I mean, he didn't win that one Super Bowl, but they since that Super Bowl, what has he been up to?
to be fair, he does got a Super Bowl and the 49ers don't, but
That is fair.
I have a whole opinion on that. We don't have to get into that right now. That's another story for another day. But yeah, I mean, I don't. It feels a little insane. Everything in me is screaming to pick the 49ers, but I'm ignoring it. I'm gonna go Jets. So, but that's all the picks. That's it. We're done. It's over. Next time we talk will be Sunday night. After, in between, it'll be right before the Sunday night game kicks off, where we'll recap everything that's happened up to that point.
Yeah, can't believe we're back, man.
It's here. It's oh man, I'm so
literally
excited.
tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
It's
I gotta think.
tomorrow.
I gotta be in a place like 45 minutes away tomorrow morning at like 7:00. So it's gonna be an early day for me. But oh man, I'm just gonna be counting down all day. Tomorrow at this point tomorrow, I'll be watching football. So I just can't wait.
Right, dude, I can't wait.
So well, all right, everybody. We'll let you go there, but thanks for listening. Let us know what you think. Did you like what we said? Did you hate what we said? Feel free to chime in. Give us your thoughts on how this season will look.
That was a long one.
We'll be back here on Sunday to give you a quick kind of recap of our favorite games, and then we'll be back here every Wednesday, 7:30. Probably won't. I don't know if we have a specific time yet, but it'll be sometime in Wednesday evening. And we'll do it all again next week. Go through the tiers, go through the bets, and go through the new picks. So we're back, everybody. So enjoy it, because as I say all the time, it goes by really quick. Next thing you know, it's Halloween, and then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and we're in the playoffs. So get your Christmas shopping done now. This is going to crop up sooner before you think. So, all right, well, take it easy, everybody.
Peace.
All right, we done.
2 hours,
11 minutes.